feel like Detroit is going to be their angriest. I think they're going to run the football. Give me Detroit laying 6. The Lumineers were there. Hey!
Hi, yeah, I was trying. Ho!
Oh!
When we touch the grass, he goes from Trey to Traquan.
I love that, dude. I look at this as an interesting game where it's like we saw the Chiefs week 1, but we didn't see what their real plan for the offense was. Cloning an OC for when he leaves, we might get to a point where there's seriously an algorithm running offenses. Mm-hmm. Do you think about that? Do you think eventually we might have like a damn computer OC? Welcome, everybody, to the first mega preview. Stanford Steve, Gambling Locks. What else?
White Steve
show. Welcome to the
What's
show.
What's up, boys?
Steve.
What's up, buddy boy?
How are you?
You look good, man.
We're good, man.
Yeah.
We're great.
Yeah. Well, before we get into it, I want to do Thursday Night Time Machine. Let's get that off the bat right away.
Chris leads 1-0.
Well, hold on a minute now. Now, while
You're the defending champion.
Yeah, that should be said.
Okay.
Hold on a minute, player.
I think that should be said before we move forward. Congratulations to you on winning last week.
Thank you.
Maybe by a point or 2.
3.
Okay, 3 points. Really nicely done by you. It was Dallas Philly.
Yeah.
We both said that Dallas would cover the spread.
Yeah.
We're starting off on an expert track here on the gambling extravaganza with White Steve.
We'll get there.
Now, listen. I want to pick Washington, and I'll now cede the floor to Cowboy Reed to tell us what happened.
So he's gonna pick the Packers because he does this, where he's like, oh, I really wanted to do this.
You're about to see what kind of fortitude I'm working with.
Okay.
Green Bay Packers 26, Commanders 20. That's Macon's pick.
You are such a fucking pussy. It's unbelievable. Just the predictability
Chris,
of your cowardice.
24-20 Packers.
Okay. All right.
The same score.
I'm picking the Packers. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Did I same score as last week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
5's a push.
5's a push.
Go.
6 is yours.
Pack, go.
Dun.
Steve, does your new hometown club up there ever lose, though? They seem undeniable.
Commanders?
Yeah, the Commanders.
As long as they don't have to play Philly, and that's like, what, 2 of the last 3 weeks?
It's a tough matchup there. Yeah.
I went to practice a bunch this summer. 4 or 5. Never got to see McLaurin, obviously, but that's the one thing that stuck out. They really need him. They don't have anybody else that could really separate. Ertz looked great, which I couldn't believe at his age. Still slippery as hell. I just couldn't tell about the run game on both sides. You know, Chris, like they're in shells and, they're doing teams, special cat, stuff like that. Like they weren't getting, like one day was a fans day, the other was just situations. So like, that's the deal. They got rid of Robinson because he didn't fit Cliff's run game. But then you see Bill. I mean, Bill's a dude. So he's going to get more incorporated. But when you watch them, all their running backs are the same size. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
To see, Cliff has his type and he has it in that offense. And so the run game, I think the secondary is good. I think Amos, the corner that they drafted, is a stud. Kinlaw really, really looks motivated. I didn't watch the tape back from Sunday, see how he did, knowing that Jonathan Allen's gone. But I don't see them being as dynamic this year offensively. Debo struggled when I went to see him in camp, and then he balls out. Obviously, that's what happens with the NFL players and the skill set that he brings to the table. But if they feel very trendy, to your point, Macon, and we'll see. It's about that. The offensive line and the run game and the defense for me.
My thing is always this, like if you're going to tell me, hey, second-year quarterback, he's going to regress, that's the way it always goes. Like if you're predicting a regression, like tell me why. Because I think it's too easy to just, and I know that's not what you're doing, but I think the reason they're trendy, the reason people want to rail against the trend is the second-year quarterback regression and the fact that most teams, when they make a big jump in 1 year, the very next year, they're going to come back and regress to the mean. I do think what makes them interesting, Steve, is this, and we talked a little bit about this, Debo playing some running back for them. that pony personnel. The way we looked at Josh Allen last year and said, and I'm not intimating that Jaden's quite in the class of Josh Allen yet, but he doesn't have the weapons outside. Well, the offense ran through the tight ends, and I think Cliff will find a way, to make the sum of the parts work for them offensively. I think the bigger concern is when you do play the Phillies of the world, you're not a great pass rushing unit. And, are you going to be able to match the physicality up front? I think that's the last piece in the puzzle for that group in this build is being really, really physical. So we'll see. I mean, you got to wait until December to see that matchup.
To your point, Chris, they went and addressed it immediately. How much can Von Miller give him? I don't know. He looked great.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I saw him, but he's not going to hold up for a whole season. They got to, he's on a pitch count for sure at his age.
You were at the Monday night game?
Yeah.
What'd you think? What was who was the guy in person? What's Steve's award for the best looking guy in his pads?
I tell you who's just a stud. I mean, that was tight end beauty in its finest. With Hawkinson with the long hair, and then the other Cole Kmet's fucking shredded. That's a big dude, and they love Loveland. It was cool. Jim Dre, who was a former Stanford tight end, he's their tight end coach, so he's super fired up. But the aura of Justin Jefferson in person is he just moves like no one else. Jamar's more of the running back build. He's thick as hell down low. Justin's just freakish the way he could go up. He's got crazy long arms, it looks like to me. It could be because he wears long sleeves in pregame, and he's got the all white uniform effect when everything is enhanced. But I was super happy for JJ. Being at the Michigan-Oklahoma game on Saturday and talking to all the Michigan people, we're so fired up to see our guy. I mean, obviously when a quarterback goes undefeated and he wins you a national title, he's going to do all right on that sideline that he played for. And then to see him struggle, Scott and I got to see Coach O'Connell on the way out. Our buses were right next to each other, and he was like, we just had to get through it. And it's almost like he had to throw that interception to get the monkey off his back, because he started letting it rip right after that. And it was really cool. The team rallied around him. I thought the locker room speech at the end of the game was really cool, that you don't get to see a lot because these young guys struggle with the situations they go into, and the Vikings they're loaded, man. They were like Oregon to me in college football last year. Vikings were 14-3, and then poof, they got whipped by Detroit. Poof, we were there for the Monday night game against the Rams. Season's over. That's a damn good season they had. They just it was real unfortunate losses the last two games. So there's plenty that they'll have a say in that division, which is the best in football.
It could be. It kind of depends on what Detroit looks like.
Could be.
Which is a weird thing to say.
Chicago, for that matter.
Well, Chicago can always bring up the rear, and you say, hey, they're a tough out, because the defense, down a couple starters, look pretty solid at points, and they get the guy from Indy, Odangbo. He plays pretty well. Dexter, I think, flashes, and Dexter, I think, is going to make a jump this year. I thought Noah Sewell looked really good. For being a team's third linebacker. I saw him run down a jet sweep and that sort of thing. And we are going to preview the Minnesota-Atlanta game, which is really interesting in the back half of this show. But a little sneak preview. I think J.J. McCarthy, everything that could have went wrong in the first half. I mean, and I know they're replacing some guys on the offensive line in school. The left tackle who's replacing Darisaw, and the big news is Darisaw is going to be up this Sunday night for you guys as betting information as we give out locks. But I thought it couldn't have been worse at left tackle, and guys were dropping balls. Justin Jefferson dropped a couple balls. They couldn't get the run game going. It felt to me like once they got the run game going in the wake of that pick six, he really, as you put it, started letting it rip, and I saw some really quality throws on a string outside the numbers. Obviously, you get the red zone scissors to Aaron Jones. It's a thing of beauty. It's my favorite play in Madden. And just for a guy to walk into a huddle allegedly and say, after he throws a pick six, Is there anywhere you'd rather be in the world right now, guys? That can backfire so fucking badly. You know?
That's a hardball line too.
Yeah. No, it is a hardball line. And the guys, I think like that could have gone either way, but he gained a lot of respect in that second half from his teammates.
Easy to root for.
Easy to root for sure. Chicago kid, you're thinking, damn, worst nightmare. You know, your hometown debut, you throw a pick six, you're going to get dog walked at home. And it felt like a playoff game in that building. I don't know how loud it was in person, but to me, the atmosphere was hostile at the very least. And the other thing
it was bad at the end.
Yeah, it was. Well, which also felt like a Chicago playoff game in my experience. The surface was fucked up too. On that field,
well, yeah, Oasis played there, and then the Lumineers were there like 6 and 8 days prior.
The Lumineers were there.
That's what I was told from sources.
That's cool. All right.
I didn't know they could fill an NFL stadium.
Well, hey!
Hi, yeah, I was trying. Oh! The Lumineers.
The Lumineers. I'm an Oasis guy.
Yeah.
Oh, love them.
All right, so what's the next thing? We're going to talk a little college football here before we get into our locks.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got your locks ready already?
Oh, yeah, for
You do?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a level playing field this week, too, I trust.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
With some proper accounting as well.
This is week 1.
Steve,
Yeah.
where are you in the world?
I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee for Tennessee, Georgia game days here, 3:30 ABC.
Nailed it.
Bulldogs 9-0 in SEC openers under Kirby Smart and have won 10 straight conference openers dating back to 2015. The quarterbacks are not named Carson Beck and Nico Iamaleava. Can you please?
There you go.
Can you please give us a primer to the signal callers and how this game will go?
Yeah, so Georgia's won 8 in a row against Tennessee, and all by 14 or more. Heupel has not scored 20 points against Kirby Smart in this game. Tennessee, with the drama of Nico in the offseason, they bring in Aguilar, who was a kid that was at App State, transferred to UCLA. Then he transferred to Tennessee when Nico went to UCLA.
That's right.
Gunnar Stockton's a kid who came in for Carson Beck, led them to an SEC championship, and then was the starter when they lost to Notre Dame in the playoffs. Georgia hasn't shown anything. I mean, nothing in their first 2 games. I believe it's Marshall and Austin Peay. They still have serious talent on the defensive side. I think Chris will really enjoy some of the guys they have on the defensive line. They're not Jalen Carter. They're not Leonard Davis, but they're football players. Their linebacker, C.J. Allen, is an absolute stud. Secondary's as good as they've had. That's where they've struggled, I think, when you go back to Ringo and those guys. So it's sort of a big brother deal. Tennessee knows this is their best opportunity. So I'm fired up. I think it's an under game. It's going to be super physical. The last time I was here in Knoxville, it was Will Muschamp was the coach of Florida, and Derek Dooley was the coach of Tennessee.
Wow.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
This place is totally different with how much they're building, popularizing. Peyton's got his stamp all over this place, like you would imagine. Sort of the Chris level in Charlottesville, but maybe not as much.
Please, easy. I
haven't found a Dirty Nellies yet.
I'm such a big deal. I can sit in the stands at Virginia games. I did.
Yeah.
I did 2 Saturdays ago. I went to the Coastal Carolina game with William Hayes and Robert Quinn.
Wow.
They wanted to paint their
Legends.
chests and sit in the student section. I said, fuck that. We're going to the upper deck where we can blend in. Yeah.
Steve, Virginia is basically 2-0.
Basically.
Yeah, how about that? They just missed being on Bad Beats. We had to make a cut because the segment was over 10 minutes. Sorry about that.
No, appreciate that.
Thought they were the better team. Better team. I see improvements.
Better
Take
team
that,
doesn't always win, I guess. What do we got next, Make?
No.
Well, the AP poll, Steve, you're being courageous and
Yeah.
releasing your top 15 every week. What do you see in FSU that rates them 4 spots higher than the consensus?
Gus Malzahn has the perfect quarterback for his system. Castellanos, I mean, you guys know him from BC and the ACC.
Beat him.
He could go. Now he's a roller coaster. But when he gets what he's great at, I thought too in that Bama game was he doesn't get hit. Like he runs a lot, he doesn't get hit, and he's the most frustrating guy to play against. But they hit home runs in the portal on the offensive line. You saw that with the way they pushed Alabama around the field. And I think their receivers transfers. I love the system. I always thought the world of Gus, and it feels pretty damn good about this puzzle piece of Castellanos in his offense. So I think the nulls are real, and it'll be pretty cool if we were there. I believe it's October 4th for undefeated Miami at undefeated Florida State, which would be awesome.
Could have had undefeated Florida State at undefeated Virginia, if not for last Saturday. Friday night, Steve, you could drive down for that one. Well, no, you got your side gig with.
You're not going to get undefeated Stanford in Charlottesville.
Oh, we're not.
That's a primetime game, though, Steve. Wherever you are, you can make it over here in time for that one.
That's true.
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's stay in the ACC, Steve. You may not be a believer in the 12th-ranked Clemson Tigers at Georgia Tech this week, in part because Clemson turned the ball over or punted on its first 5 drives against Troy. The Troy Trojans. Mm-hmm. They rushed for only 31 yards on 20 carries against LSU. They seem to be stacked personnel-wise, but Dabo's group not yet.
Are they bad? Tell me they're bad.
You can say it.
They're not bad. They're not bad. Their best receiver got hurt the third snap against LSU, and you could see that totally flustered Klubnik, who should not be getting flustered. The offensive line has not been good. They can't run the ball for anything. I believe it's 74 yards a game, and that's like 234th in NCAA. Like, you can't do that. And they took a jump last year when Maffa got hurt, and Cade really honed in on these receivers. And Antonio Williams, the guy that was out, that is out, I'm not sure about this week, was the guy. And they do have 2 top 10 picks on their defensive line, but the onus has been on the defense the whole first 2 games, and they've backed it up. Dabo said his only guy that's came to play the first 2 games is his new defensive coordinator, Tom Allen. So they gotta. We know that Georgia Tech likes to run it. Haynes King sounds like he's gonna give it a go, and that QB run game is serious with Georgia Tech. So this is I kind of like the matchup for Clemson. Especially if Antonio Williams could go, knowing the depth and strength of Clemson's defense. So it's a real tell-all early ACC game in Bobby Dodd, which is really cool.
Alabama's laying 21 points to Wisconsin. Now, this is a juicy one. Kalen DeBoer seems like a nice enough guy.
Nice guy.
Won 1 million games at Washington, lost
Michael
none.
Penix won a lot of them.
Coach,
That was Kevin Clark's point.
Hey.
Did Michael Penix get DeBoer paid?
Steve, what does Nick Saban say behind the scenes that he would not say publicly to anyone? Tell us what he says.
Yeah, burn him.
I can do that.
The way his voice cracked.
Can Alabama be good? Can Alabama make this college football playoff?
Yes, they can. Again, going back to your point about Florida State, I think watching that tape, Florida State's legit. And did Bama, go by the wayside when the momentum got rolling? Yeah. With quarterback in a first road start, I think that was huge. And Florida State capitalized on it. Now you go back to the drawing board and get going. So Bama does have some pieces that haven't played yet that they should have back for the Georgia game in a couple weeks, but I don't see them having a problem with Wisconsin. Wisconsin's got to start their backup quarterback, and that's not going to be a great matchup for Wisconsin. They got exposed. You could just see the speed difference last year when Bama went up to Madison and gave it to him. So I expect Bama to get this thing going headed into the Georgia game.
Chris, interrupting Gossip Girl and Jane the Virgin on the CW this Saturday at 4:30 will be nationally ranked USF heading to Coral Gables.
Jane the Virgin?
Yeah. That's a show. That's number 18 at number 5.
Okay.
Canes
Yeah.
favored by
I'm
17
going to do a
and a
little
half.
research on that show while
Let-
you guys talk college football.
Yeah. Final deep
Okay.
dive, Steve. A&M and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
100% on Rotten Tomatoes, though, on Jane the Virgin.
100%?
There we
I
go.
didn't expect that. Maybe like one person reviewed it.
New lead.
That might be the case. What are we to expect? Notre Dame laying 6.5 to Texas A&M. Night game, under the
Yeah.
lights.
Notre Dame, weird circumstance. Played Sunday of Labor Day, then had a bye. I was super impressed with C.J. Carr. It was their quarterback, first road start. I think Miami's legit. When you combine offensive line and defensive line, I don't know how many teams I would take ahead of Miami. They might have the best group, and that's what makes this matchup tough for South Florida. South Florida was, give them credit, they won the game, but Florida just made mistake after mistake after mistake. Knowing that you can rely on both lines of scrimmage with Miami, I think this makes it a tougher matchup for South Florida. Byron Brown has been great in beating Boise State and Florida. So how much can he do? Carson Beck's looked awesome. That was the biggest question for me with Miami. Him going there, and they lost their top 6 pass catchers from last year. And then you see they got a freshman that comes in, they get a couple transfers, and they were cooking against Notre Dame, who I still think has the best secondary in the world. So when Notre Dame comes back, they played a bunch of zone against Miami, which is not Marcus Freeman's deal. I think Notre Dame goes back to playing man, in your face, great corners, and they do have talent on the defensive line. I think it's a tough matchup for A&M because they haven't been great against the run, and Notre Dame's going to be better on the offensive line. They got it taken to them by Miami, and A&M's weakness so far has been that run defense. So I expect Notre Dame to play well and cover.
Jane Villanueva, the daughter of a teen mother, grew up determined not to repeat her mom's mistakes. Jane is studying to be a teacher, and she is engaged to a handsome detective who supports her decision to remain a virgin until marriage. But a routine visit to the clinic turns her life upside down. Inseminated by a specimen meant for a patient in the next room, Jane is in a situation made only more insane when she learns that the sperm donor is her boss, Raphael.
Oh,
Wow.
The hoes are laughing. So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, man. Complicated decisions indeed.
Wow. Wow.
wow.
Steve, who's the Coughlin Award player to watch for the week? For those who don't remember, including Steve, that's a Heisman candidate who has no chance of winning the Heisman. This award has taken on several iterations. It turned into Steve's favorite tight end of the week. But originally it was, hey, can we honor somebody who's not in the mainstream? Have you prepared this week for the Coughlin Award? Maybe we can forget about Timmy Chang this year. Okay.
Yep, I just want to get the stats.
Okay, he's getting the stats. Chris.
He's getting the
Coughlin
stats.
Award is Kenyon Sadiq, tight end for Oregon. Already has a touchdown, 3 catches, 60 yards, an absolute freak. Made Bruce Feldman's freaks list this year. Oregon has absolutely wowed people in their first 2 games. Haven't played anybody. They go to Northwestern to play in front of 17,000 people on the wall. Is that Lake Michigan? Yeah, it's Lake Michigan.
Yeah, it's Michigan.
Kenyon Sadiq is the dude. Probably has bigger quads than Chris.
Really?
Chris was playing. He's a stud.
Quadzilla.
Absolute stud. Yeah.
From Idaho
Kenyon
Falls.
Sadiq.
Yeah.
Can I interest you guys in Sheriff Country? It's a spinoff of Fire Country.
You're a CW veteran.
Yeah, I am. No longer, though.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was CW? Was that? What was the channel that had like Dawson's Creek in that?
I don't know.
That feels right.
WB.
Oh, yeah.
WB.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fox
CW. I was there for a bit. We had some good times. But now you can catch me here.
Whalen checking in on CW?
No, he doesn't have, there's not a lot of age-appropriate programming for him. He's a big SpongeBob and Dude Perfect guy.
He has
Oh, it's Dude Perfect. Okay.
Oh, Dude Perfect. He's a huge Dude Perfect guy.
not a big.
They want to
not
go
a
to
big-
the DP headquarters, they tell me.
I was about to say not a big insemination content guy yet, but if he wants to go to the DP
The DP headquarters.
world headquarters, maybe he is.
You got to give your boy Billy Lucci a call. Those are his boys.
Oh, Dude Perfect guys?
Oh, yeah. They're all A&M guys.
Oh, shit, I got to talk to Billy. That would make my
Yeah.
kids' lives if I got hey,
Oh,
I don't know
Who
their
gets
names.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't either.
yeah. Colby. There's one named Colby.
And
Right?
3 of them are named Tyler.
Tyler. There's all a bunch of Tylers.
Did you see the New York Post wrote an article about you saying you felt like you were old watching YouTube?
Did you see what I had to say, though?
No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I saw what you had to say on the pod.
Well, yeah, I felt old. I mean, the whole thing's like, streamers and shit like that. And Mr. Beast gives me the willies, so
None taken. Dr. Fax says that we look alike.
that you and Mr. Beast look alike. Damn, Dr.
New York Post, former NFL star Chris Long felt pushed away by YouTube broadcast.
See, I
Time
love
to
how
die, boomer.
I love how they make you sound like you're just complaining and you're like
Yo.
climbed up a 40-foot soapbox.
Hey, the headline of that headline.
That's a pretty good headline.
Star.
Star.
Yeah.
You got it.
Headline of the headline.
That's dope.
That's right. I think Eisen was great as always. It wasn't a shot at the broadcast, just the presentation.
Cowboy, would you like to reveal the NFL lock standings through 1 week?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's 0-0. This is week 1.
Yeah.
Starting now, I think.
I don't think that's the. Can we dig a little deeper?
Okay.
I think we should just put an asterisk next to week 1.
Well, okay. First, let's talk about what
That wasn't real.
Reed's looking for a
weren't
prepared
together.
statement right now. He's
In simplest terms,
mhm.
I submitted my 5 picks, and Cowboy said, I need a different one. Steve already had it. And then I asked,
Probably was a loss.
are these 3 teams on the table?
Mhm.
Can I pick these 3 teams? And he says, you can pick one of them. And I said, that's it, question mark? He said, yes, of those 3, you may only pick one. So then the sheet comes out with everybody's picks. All 3 were on the board. I could have picked from all 3, including the New York Jets, who covered, including the Baltimore Ravens, who I would have willed to a cover. And he gives me the one dead dog of the group in the New York Giants. So I humbly ask that we do throw out week 1.
I'm not going to throw out week 1.
No.
Respectfully, I went 4-1. I'll give you a win. You fucking 0-5, not a threat.
1-4.
Oh, you went 1-4?
Well, I know why you might think that,
I think I did
because
too.
the people in the document that governs the damn podcast put me at 0-5 for the last several hours, if not days.
Men lie, women lie. The document also lies.
I had under in Niners Seahawks. They scored 30 points. Is 30 more or less than 43.5?
So let's just hear Reed's retort,
Well, no,
because all week he said Macon had no grounds to stand on.
Yeah, going through the text, we're at the BetMGM Borgata. I'm trying to,
He was distracted. My bad. I did not realize you had other things going
That's
on.
all right. Well, it's not. I'm not saying that's the only thing.
What's the other thing?
No, I'm just saying, there are things.
Yeah, cool,
You
cool. All right.
You
Well,
told me you were smoking crack, essentially.
That's exactly what I said. I said Macon's smoking crack.
did you not realize?
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't realize the.
No, I knew exactly. I knew I was going to get that text Sunday morning, or whatever day. Yeah, Sunday morning.
Do you want a free win?
I don't, because here's what's going to happen. I am going to ride both of your asses effective immediately until the end of the season. I'm going to go 3-2 for 3 consecutive weeks to get to 500, and then I am taking off like a rocket ship.
Wouldn't that mean we're also taking off as you're riding our asses?
I'm going to leave your asses behind.
Are we the propulsion system that gets left in
week 5,
Florida?
y'all asses are left behind in Cape Canaveral. You bitch you. All right?
Well,
You
here's
gonna
our
light my
open
ass
for
on
week 5
fire?
when we get there.
Okay, well, who's up first?
Steve.
Chris
This
4
is
and
what we
1.
got to keep track of.
Steve 1 and 4, tied for second with me at 1 and 4. It's getting a little weird how good you are at this, by the way.
Thanks.
Not to fluff your pillows or
Thanks.
anything,
Yeah.
but I hope you're doing this in real life too.
Oh, I am.
Getting pretty annoying,
Somebody's on the ass end of this thing every week.
candidly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Sorry, Steve.
That's all right, fellow 1 and 4 brother.
Here's your second win of the season coming up.
Here we go.
Couple bottom feeders.
Broncos plus 1.5.
Fuck. Is that not minus 1.5? That's my first pick here. I have written down.
Says plus. I don't know. Macon, you got to check.
Around here, you
Text
never
from
know, Steve. That's right.
He probably sends different texts to different folks. We know.
If he,
Broncos plus 1.5.
they're favored by 1.5. I hate to be a stickler here.
No, that's fair as fuck.
Look at his text.
If he fucked up this text,
No, Colts plus 1.5.
come on, Steve. This is your first time reading lines.
rotating. All right. Broncos minus 1.5.
It's my favorite pick of the week.
It's
I'm gonna have to think about this for a second.
damn. You really
Oh,
only
wow.
had one pick?
Well, I have several written down.
No, I know. I'm kind of in the same boat.
That was my
It's
favorite.
not as easy. While you're doing it, do you want to hit him with the under statistic on week 1? I mean, the unders were what 6 and
12 and 4.
12 and 4
12
to the under.
12 and 4 to the under, and that was it was a historical outlier. Yes.
Yep. Unders ended the week at 12 and 4, tied for the lowest mark of any season since 2000.
That's not just a week 1 thing either. So
That's 25 years.
that's crazy. That's fucking
Who's up?
insane.
I'm up. I got one for you.
Okay.
I found it. Give me
Found it.
Mac Wilson. Is that his name? Mac Jones. Give me quarterback Mac Jones and the San Francisco 49ers going into New Orleans. Favored by a field goal.
Fuck.
Really?
No, I do like that. It's right here at the top of my page.
Okay, sick. I like when we're aligned.
I know you do.
Even though I've hung up the
Jeez Louise. I'm going to do it.
crippling addiction.
I'm going to do it.
Did you see that stat about the Niners?
What?
You think that's all Seattle, Chris?
What is it?
Purdy was pressured the most of any game in his career.
Seattle's really
Last week.
good defensively. Seattle's really good defensively. I look forward to seeing them get even better offensively, or better offensively. I don't want to say even better offensively. Like they were in position to win that game. It just didn't work out. Turned the ball over twice in the fourth quarter, and Jake Moody gets cut.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't draft kickers, man. Drafting kickers, it almost destines them. It's the most mental position in the world, and all of a sudden you're drafted. So, anyways, I'm gonna do it. What do you think I'm gonna do?
Oh, I can figure this
Eagles.
out.
No,
I can figure it out.
I'm gonna do it though.
Browns.
Nope.
No.
Well, I can tell what he's gonna do.
Oh.
I have to. They're the only team that covered for me last week.
The Giants?
I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions.
Oh, okay.
Laying all those points. Short week for Chicago, physical football game. When you think about it, nice.
Yeah.
Terry and Arnold is back. I don't see Caleb as being a totally different player than last year yet. I haven't given up on Caleb yet. Like, you know, I poured a little cold water on the hype, but I think he's got the tools. The big reason for me is, and I don't know what the injury situation is outside this week for Chicago. I don't know if those guys are coming back, but I feel like Detroit is going to be their angriest. I think they're going to run the football. And, give me Detroit laying 6.
Wrote down 3 spreads. They're all off the board first round.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
A long 10 minutes for
Don't
me.
write it down.
I got some totals. I'm a
Then you
total
don't
guy
have to
now.
stare at them.
I got totals too.
I'm a total guy
I
now.
got totals too.
And you're up, player.
Oh, am I up?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
take that.
I will
Prove it.
take the New England Miami over 43.5. One little detail is the Patriots' new defensive coordinator is not making the trip to the game this weekend.
Oh, right. Did see that.
That's kind of a big thing. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah. No, he's not making the trip. And on top of that, I think New England is going to come out and be better offensively. I mean, you can only help being better offensively. There was a lot of space underneath. If you like checkdowns, you can throw checkdowns for 300 yards on this Dolphins team.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some points in this game.
I will also take points. Arizona Cardinals, Carolina Panthers over 43.5. Kindly.
I don't mind that.
Look.
You don't need to justify it.
Yeah, like you don't have anything. If you did, it was written on one of those papers.
Hey, buddy. Buddy.
Yeah. What?
Tune into the other part of this show where I just drown you in knowledge and facts and stats. But I can't get to those pieces of paper right now. All I know is
correct.
These defenses aren't excellent. And that number is not terribly high. Okay? It's not that hard.
But it sounds like you love the offenses.
It's about the defenses, Steve.
All right, fine.
Kyler runs around the field. Bryce is better than y'all.
Wait, you don't think Arizona's defense is like that?
Dude, I know
think Arizona's defense is pretty good. I haven't seen like the horses up front yet. They got a lot of good rushers, but they don't have like that guy, I guess.
Better than they were.
They're better than they were, and the secondary is very good.
Excellent.
This is one of the best secondaries in the league.
You know Buda Baker.
I know Buda Baker.
Will Johnson,
fucking man. Will Johnson played well. We will talk about that in the previews. I just begged to
Green light needs to go out to Cardinals camp next year. That's my request.
I'd love to go. You know we're cool with John Gannon.
I know. All right, I got two here. Jacksonville, Cincinnati, over 49. And
damn, I got to pick 5, huh?
The Ravens are celebrating 30 years in the league Sunday. And their opponent is the Browns, who they just stole their team 30 years ago.
That's a good point, Steve.
Browns, motivation, Flacco coming home.
Nice.
Browns plus 11.5.
Aha, Cowboy. Typically, the picks are written in real time, so we can keep. There we go. All right. Okay.
Macon, were you ever a producer in your life?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
I'm going to have this up and then get yelled at that the game spreads are not up.
Not if you put them up correctly, huh? You know?
There you go. There you go, Chris.
All right, I'm just fucking around.
Hey,
okay.
Can I really want that Broncos pick.
If you give me your win from last week, I'll give it to you.
No.
No.
Can't do that. Okay. All right. Okay. Give me more points. Lions, Bears over.
Yeah, I think it bounces back this week. And the NFL says enough with these unders.
Regression.
We like Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I up? Is that how this works?
You are.
Okay.
But typically you say something like, nice pick. I like that pick.
No, it's a good pick.
Yeah, all right.
That's a good pick. I got the Seahawks catching 3 points in Pittsburgh.
I can't see that game. All right.
I see it a little bit.
Okay.
You got to realize when there's a big market team that comes out of the gates smoking and everybody's like, he's back. Nobody saw the Seahawks game. They don't know what to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. You're still up.
Oh, I'm up again?
That's right.
Okay. So I've got 2 sides and a total.
Mm-hmm. Do it
Okay.
right.
So I've got a lot of freedom here. Give me the Atlanta, Minnesota over.
Okay. Justin Jefferson in 2 games versus the Falcons, 16 for 304 touchdowns. Steve, fact.
From your sheet.
Yeah, from my actually it's handwritten on my sheet.
You get
handwritten.
Yeah, you're gonna get Darisaw back, right?
Yes, the enormous.
And I think Atlanta will be more intentional about running the football. They did not run the football last week. Am I up again?
No, that would be crazy. Okay, I'm going with my wild card, right, Cowboy? I can do that whenever.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Travis Etienne over 15.5 receiving yards. Hell yeah, man. Tank Bigsby, see ya. Check
Is that
down.
even money?
Check down. I didn't look. All I know is that I liked it a lot.
What's the most we could go on those wild cards? You want them around like minus 115?
Yeah, just no fuckboy
Okay.
shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to screw up the math.
No, don't do that.
No one took the Eagles?
Nobody took the Eagles. We're going to let that just
I'll
be
take-
the game of the week.
I'll take the Eagles.
Okay.
And what do you got on Chase Brown numbers?
What do you want?
Are receiving and rushing combined out yet?
I do not know.
Yeah.
But I like where your head's at there, Steve. Really like where ball knower.
I pride myself on being a ball knower.
I got it.
over
Yeah,
93.5.
93.5.
Yeah. Rush and receive.
Yep.
Yes.
Give it to me.
Boom.
Okay,
Those are my 5. My 5's on the floor.
like that. 15.5 yards is minus 115.
There you go. I'll give that to you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, what do you have for the? Am I up?
Yes.
No.
No.
No, sorry, Macon.
Okay.
Making up.
I'll just keep asking. Are we there yet?
Chris, do you have the Jeopardy theme on?
Oh, come on. I haven't.
We'll
That's
be right
what
back.
I don't know who to pick.
Derek.
Is week 2 a little early to be going against you all just to try to climb up?
It's a little early.
the standings?
It's a little early.
Okay. All right. Okay. You know, give me a zag on week 1, Steve. I can't believe it. Give me the Giants plus 5.5.
Can I see the Jonathan Taylor receptions and receiving yards numbers, please?
Yes.
I was thinking Cowboys first half.
Can I take back the Giants pick?
Nope.
I mean, what if they look pretty good, you know?
90.5 rush and receive.
I was asking for the receptions or the
Receptions.
receiving yards.
Receptions made
You know, they're going to have a lot more time.
2.5.
Washington.
2.5?
Yep, receptions made.
Yeah, I'll take his receptions. 2.5 over Jonathan Taylor. He's the safety blanket. And if we know anything about the his Greenlaw is not going to play for a couple weeks now. So
Dimes.
Stranad.
Singleton,
Yep.
Hey, Cal,
Ufaga maybe.
I'll take that half point with the Niners, man. I'll go to 2.5, please. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Oh shit! I get a
Steve?
half point.
It's half point Friday here in the
Half point Friday.
What do I do? Browns.
Eagles or Jaguars Bengals total.
Sure.
Or that one, the total.
Yeah.
Okay, 48.5.
Boom.
Great.
Wow.
Let's go Seahawks catching 3.5 player.
Cool. Boom.
right.
All right. Steve has the Broncos minus 1.5. Jaguars Bengals over at 48.5. Browns plus 5.5.
No, 11.5.
11.5.
11.5, please.
Eagles minus 1.5. Chase Brown over 93.5 rush and receiving yards. Macon is 49ers minus 2.5. Cardinals, Panthers over 43.5. Lions, Bears over 46.5. Travis Etienne over 15.5 receiving yards, and Giants plus 5.5 that he wanted back and we wouldn't allow it. Chris, Lions minus 6. Dolphins, Patriots over 43.5. Seahawks plus 3.5. Falcons, Vikings over 44.5, and Jonathan Taylor over 2.5 receptions.
Said Judy of being an 11.5-point underdog, it is definitely disrespectful, but we just have to go in there and take care of business, regardless of what people may think and who they've got winning or losing the game. We just have to go in there and try to beat the odds. They put the odds against us. But this is a division football game, and we've covered before.
He did that press conference with no
He
shirt
didn't
on.
say that. He didn't say the end. I did look long and hard at Browns plus 11.5 because it would just be fun. Like the backdoor cover scenario on that, there's so many ways that happens.
Did you see
With Shador?
Grant Delpit's comments on how hard it is to bring down Derrick Henry?
Not hard.
Not hard.
That's incredible.
Macon, I've got a gift for you.
Oh.
Reed told me if you were bad that I got to keep it, but I'm gonna.
Oh, my hat!
They're pretty good.
Now 5.5 is a lock.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Well, no, take the hat off again.
No, please blur that out.
Come on. Let me
Come
see
on,
those
man.
locks again.
Come on, dude.
Man, the hat makes you look like a small boy.
No. Once I bitch,
Hey, watch your mouth, kid.
I'm gonna
Hey,
make it
take it
fit
off
right
and
in
go
a minute.
one size tighter.
Buddy,
Go one size tighter.
I am going to do that, but I'm not going to do the hair thing again, okay?
Come on. I can't see that hair hanging over your ears.
I only have a little time left.
Steve.
Hey, who said this? That's not just a series of coincidences, it's destiny.
Tony Bennett.
Jane the Virgin.
Oh,
Jane
did
the
she?
Virgin. Oh, I was gonna
Did she
guess
really?
that.
Yeah.
We should do a live watch
Thank you, Cal. Hey.
Dr. Facts.
Hey,
with Dr. Facts.
Steve.
See, I don't think this is realistic.
Calbs. You know, it's nothing but love from me to you.
No. It lives forever.
No. He said
Respect.
no.
Respect, love, and respect.
Are the Monarchs still alive? The Air Monarchs?
Oh, yeah, he's still wearing the Monarchs.
Yeah, they're still back.
DoorDash
They're on
those
my feet right
puppies.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a whole bit on our pod this week about Les Miles sending Scott one.
Oh, he sent some Monarchs to. I got one parting
real
thought for you, Steve.
Oh, he talked about your shoes that you signed and sent to him too.
Oh, those shoes
Woven
are.
sandals.
Dude, they're not sandals, dude. He's totally misrepresenting them. They're literally they're like ostrich or gator print loafers that I bought in like the Belk in St. Louis my second year, and I wore them to the Super Bowl. And Scott was frying me for these fucking shoes, so eventually I signed them and
Still
sent
is.
them to him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even know what kind of shoe it is.
He said woven sandals.
So I was in the car last night with my lovely wife, and she reminded me once again that Macon has no kitchen. Do you know about this, Stanford Steve?
No.
That Macon
No,
is a
please
kitchenless face ass boy. He's got no kitchen, so so he's got to win some of these bets. They decided to, how you say, remodel the kitchen. But they
Yeah.
did the demoing before the plans. So they're just Meg was like, "Do your kids eat hot food?" Is it like what's going on at the house there?
We have
And
to eat cereal again.
I told Meg I was like, "We're going to be cooking Macon tomorrow." And she goes, "Well, Meg is not doing any cooking. I know that."
You know, it takes a special kind of person.
Hold on. Is this a fact?
Oh, he's living in a gray box. His kids don't get
No
hot
wonder.
meals.
No wonder he was early today.
Yeah, he's just hanging out in the kitchenette here. He brought his dishes in.
A sink. A sink.
I take those to my dad. Thank you.
You know, some people bring over laundry. Hear a bunch of plates and forks and knives clanking. He's back again.
I don't want to talk about that.
Any comments? I just thought Steve should know.
Yes, Steve, we're redoing the kitchen.
Thank you, Meg.
Okay. And
Yeah.
my wife, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
This is-
Uh-oh. Don't say it.
No, my
say it.
wife says, Meg, come on over because we've just
Oh.
expanded the scope of this project a little bit by knocking over more things than anticipated.
Should we blow up the kitchen? You already have.
And then,
Where's a spoon?
so Meg, being a good friend, proceeds to besmirch our names all about town. I mean, this is getting
all about
crazy.
town in the privacy of her sports utility vehicle.
Just a shit talk.
I know all about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways,
It's
In the
gonna
middle.
that's a
of
little bit of
NFL
gossip,
season?
a little bit of Charlottesville,
Little
gossip.
Charlottesville sip.
Be, it's
A little tea.
it's the
Not hot tea though. You need a microwave for that.
We have a hot plate, assholes.
You should get a George Foreman grill. Do you have receptacles? Like
Yeah, we have outlets.
outlets? Okay.
They don't all work.
Can't even have a TV dinner in the oven.
No.
Man.
In fairness, the project only began in early June.
Yeah, there's still time. Like there's still
Next-
time for
Next June's
the
coming right
locks.
around the corner.
guys. It was a pleasure. That was my parting shot. And Steve, we will see you
We
next
should
week.
revisit that every week.
Yeah, just see how the
Revisit that
kitchen's
every
going.
week. Can we do before? Do you have the before pictures?
Oh yeah,
Let's update the after. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, let's
so
get it. Let's get it.
post those.
Yeah, let the people
We can
decide.
put it right in the screen behind you guys.
Okay, that'd be great.
There's a lot of
Or
decisions you
put it-
got to make
put it-
when you're appointing your kitchen. Maybe we could help.
Yeah.
We should crowdsource decisions on. We'll pay for the kitchen
Camp.
as a podcast if you let the people decide on what kind of finishes. And
We need a camera, a live camera, 24/7 camera of what's being done.
Do you all know what marble does? It stains
yeah, it does.
and it gets dings
Yeah.
and like etches, and it's not good for somebody with obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah, it depreciates as soon as you pull it off the lot. But anyways, we've got the preview here, and we got a shift change. Stanford Steve is gonna. God, I'm so jealous of you right now, bro. That's a city I really want to spend time in. So
Knoxville.
do it
Oh.
up for me. Do it up for me. Maybe
We'll
we'll
rip it
catch
up
you down the
tonight.
line.
Sure.
Okay. And Dr. Fax will
Later,
be joining
boys.
us for the previews.
Bye, Steve.
Bye, Steve. And I want to shout out BetMGM. This football season, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at first touchdown scorers. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. That's what it says in the ad read. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Be sure to take advantage of this offer. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. BetMGM, make it legendary. So Dr. Fax has now joined us.
You?
Yep. We're gonna go ahead and preview the Sunday slate. Let's rip through some games, fellas. We already got our locks in. Let's rip through some games. And Nate, if you like any prop bets, please. I don't know if you like putting in your prop bets this early, but do
I
speak up.
think I'm trying to be a smarter better
Yeah, there we go.
this year.
Like,
So even though a lot of those early prop bets I learned last year, they look very intriguing and the numbers look really good doing them like on Thursday, but it doesn't usually pan out.
wait till Saturday. Or
Yeah,
Sunday morning.
because
Okay.
this is guys get traded, guys get hurt, guys don't end up playing. And I had a lot of times last year. What really sucks is when you put someone in a player prop in a parlay, and 3 legs hit, and then that one leg that would have made it maybe an extra $1,000. That person didn't suit up.
Yeah, like last week, I liked the Tank Bigsby over. Had I known that Tank Bigsby was there was a
On the
deal,
trading
he was on the block, and it wasn't like a let's showcase him. It was like we don't want him getting hurt.
We
because
do
this
not
deal's
need him to
this
get
deal
hurt.
is coming out Monday.
Man,
So we start right there. The game of the week, in my opinion, and it's not an opinion thing. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl. It's Kansas City and it's Philly and it's at Arrowhead, which is of course a totally different deal from the neutral site that we saw the Eagles whoop up on the Chiefs what was that, 7 months ago?
Yeah.
Feels like yesterday. Jeez Louise. Guys, what do you think? What's your lean? You guys got a lean?
It's the 11th rematch of a Super Bowl in the following season all time. The Super Bowl winning team has won 7 of the 10 previous rematches.
Man, that's interesting.
That's my lean.
Revenge doesn't mean anything.
I mean, how does Kansas City explode for a chunk play?
I don't, and that's
Juju.
That's one of the biggest questions. That's one of the biggest questions I have. And Worthy's practicing.
He is.
It would shock me. This sounded like it would be like a longer term deal. Separated shoulder. What about it? He feels a little bit differently now.
No, I cut Worthy for Mac Jones in fantasy.
I
Just
noticed.
in case if anyone was noticing.
You might want to put a Google alert on Xavier Worthy, because it just popped up earlier today where I was like, oh man, he might play this week. So if he plays, I think they came into camp expecting that we're going to get more explosives this year. I think that the number one key was the offensive line, and you guys have probably heard me talk about this already, like too much. But I think it's gonna contextualize the whole thing for them. They have upgraded at left tackle. They believe that. I believe it. And Josh Simmons, the rookie, who gave up a few pressures the other night, had some pre-snap penalties. There's reason to believe that before the end of the season, the Chiefs are going to have their best offense they've had in a couple years, which ain't saying too much, right? This has been a defensive football team and a crunch time team. They win almost every one-score game. They didn't win a one-score game this week. It looks a little bit more out of balance for them, and especially it looked that way with Worthy off the field. I mean, you're trying to hit deep shots now to Thornton. Mahomes is a little bit off on some of those opportunities. The guard position is a huge concern, but if they have time, and I'm talking about Kingsley Suamataia,
nice, BYU,
who they moved in from tackle, I really worry about him, whether it's a Jomo or Jalen Carter. I think both those guys, and by the way, having Jalen Carter play at all is like a huge lift, so we just kind of keep him close to Dom during pregame. I think if they have the protection and Worthy is healthy, it's a shoulder, it's not a groin, you'll see a little bit more what their plan was for this offense this year. I think Travis Kelce's going to get bracketed. I think they're going to take him away or try to. And Hollywood Brown had like fucking 30 targets
but look,
last week.
If Worthy isn't hurt, like what is he going to do? Catch every rock and go down right immediately or run out of bounds immediately? Because it's just – a shoulder.
I know, but
you catch the ball, you fall wrong, you catch the ball, you get sandwiched, you get hit, or someone tackles you hard into the ground. I feel like you're doing that little wiggle to the sideline.
Well, the good thing for Worthy is, and he'll catch some crossers. They're going to go mesh when the Eagles try to man up. They're going to go mesh, but for the most part, it's Worthy in the sideline, or Worthy in a deep ball, or Worthy on a jet sweep. Like those are the things that open up for them that make linebackers' eyes. It makes it a little bit harder on you. And if the Chiefs are gonna dink and dunk, right, which they did a lot with Hollywood Brown, a lot of what he's catching is underneath stuff, then you're gonna contend with two of the best. I don't want to get out in front of myself here, but I think the Eagles have two of the best linebackers in the league. I think by the end of the season, you're gonna look at that linebacker unit with Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond. You don't like him so much?
No, I love him so much.
He's so good.
In coverage last week?
He's so good.
He was everywhere.
So that's why I look at this as an interesting game where it's like we saw the Chiefs week one, but we didn't see what their real plan for the offense was. And it's a delicate balance when you're already down your best receiver and your best screen guy, the dirty work guy, and Rashee Rice. So I think what's interesting is you've got this extended rest. Both the Eagles and the Chiefs are on extended rest before their week 2 matchup since 2018 when both teams are on an extended rest. 8+ days. The under is 108-66 and 2. That's hitting at about a 62% clip. For the non-gamblers out there, I guess what we mean to say is it might not be fireworks. And I think when you looked at Kevin Patullo's strategy week 1, it was let's not take a lot of chances. We don't have to. The offensive line bled a little bit in the pass rush, a little more than you're used to. There were some pressures. There were some moments where, and Landon Dickerson's banged up. He should go, but if he doesn't, or if he gets dinged, then it's going to be a nightmare inside with Chris Jones, right? And you talk about like what we just saw 7 months ago. The mechanics when you go on the road, if God forbid you have 2 new guards in there compared to that Super Bowl matchup, you're talking about silent count, you're talking about communication, a new offensive coordinator, maybe some new terminology, some new wrinkles you're trying The Eagles, I think, are going to have to get a little bit more aggressive at times because if we know anything, Spags decided in the Super Bowl, we're going to take away Saquon Barkley and we're going to make Jalen Hurts beat us. Do you think they roll that same strategy out there? I don't know. But A.J. Brown's got to get the damn ball.
And speaking of that, do you think something fishy is going on with them? Like the whole Tanks Bigsby situation, you think maybe they're thinking about trading A.J. Brown? They want to keep him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe they want to keep him fresh to dangle him out there?
Who are you talking about? Oh, you talking about that they were keeping A.J. Brown fresh?
Yeah, maybe that's why he didn't get so many passes, the first week.
I think Philly would explode. They literally just did this in Tennessee and it's like the most it's the most infamous trade of the last 5 years in football, I feel like. Because there a more infamous trade?
There's a little chatter.
The one that just happened, I
Well,
guess.
other than the one we just had.
Before the one we just had, it was fucking.
Because there's a little chatter saying that the Eagles might have overextended with what they gave up for Tanks Bigsby, but they're saying that maybe they gave that up knowing they're about to get some picks back if they get rid of A.J. Brown.
That's such an interesting conspiracy theory. I don't think that's. I would believe something like that when I saw it, especially when your wide receiver 3 is Jahan Dotson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
true.
I think it's more likely that Jalen Carter walks out there and spits on Patrick Mahomes than how we trade away A.J. Brown.
Exactly. When you think about that trade changed football. I don't say, it's all history, right? Because it's happened. But it changed the course of football over the past couple of years. Like the Eagles unlocked something offensively that it's just hard to defend, man. When you have him and Devontae in the same offense, and you have the quarterback run game, and you have Saquon Barkley, I mean, it changed Tennessee's trajectory. It changed the organization. Think of all the ripple effects of him getting traded. Like I think Vrabel's still there. Seriously,
that is true.
So. Maybe if Tennessee ultimately gets Cam Ward out of it, and Cam Ward is like a top 5 quarterback in 5 years, then it's all worth it, But imagine if you had Cam Ward and A.J. Brown.
Oh my God!
You might not be in that position though.
Yeah.
To pick a Cam Ward if it's not for doing the unthinkable and shipping A.J. Brown out of town. So I think the bottom line is this: Chiefs sold out to stop Saquon. I think they're going to try to do that again. And when you look at the Eagles' run game, this may be something that got lost in the shuffle. I was surprised to read this. Eagles at 11 personnel really didn't run the football. 4 carries, 11 yards, right? So, out of 12 and 13 where they did most of their work on the ground, 14 carries for 30 yards. You look at their run offense last week, Jalen Hurts was a huge part of it. Like, they didn't really get going on the ground. And so that's a little bit of a troubling thing when you're looking at this unit. And if you want to be an 11 and you want to force – Hicks struggled last week in Kansas City, right? In Brazil, rather. But Hicks struggled for them. And depending on if you're trotting 11 personnel out there – and you're demanding they put nickel on the field, or if you're in those bigger personnels where you've got Chenal, Tranquil, Bolton out on the field, and one less defensive back in base personnel, like you're going to get different looks. And if you want Hicks on the field and you want them to have to be able to defend down to their last corner, then I would force them into nickel. But if you're in nickel, you got to run the ball better. They did not run the ball well in 11 personnel last week. So that was an interesting nugget. So how important is Justin Reed? We'll find out. Justin Reed might be really important to this defense. Surprise, surprise. I think it's going to be a very interesting game. Golly, if the Eagles can run the football, they're going to win this damn game. But if for some reason they run the football like they did last week, I think a lot of people are undervaluing the Chiefs right now, myself included maybe. Mahomes scares me at home. He really does. It's the only second time in his career being an underdog at Arrowhead.
And he lost that game.
Did he?
Yep.
Who was it?
The Bills.
The Bills?
24-20.
Wow.
The only 3 times that he's closed as a 1.5 or shorter favorite at home is coming against the Bills.
I guess you could say, though, if they can't run the ball, they didn't really run the ball in the Super Bowl, and they just torched them. What's going to be different? I don't know. Maybe this is the part where the rubber meets the road for a new offensive coordinator. You know, they had things going last year. Kellen Moore and that group had things going. By the time this is week 2, so we'll see. Patullo's got to be. I think Patullo's going to be tested a lot more. I think the defense was tested last week. And by the way, we didn't even talk about Zadarius Smith yet. One of my favorite players. Y'all know that. A little bit of double whammy for Detroit, who really didn't look that great rushing the passer last week. They pass on Zadarius Smith, and he ends up in Howie Roseman's house. And I think Zadarius Smith's a lot of fun because you can move him around. He can rush as a floater. He can rush over guards. He rush over tackles. And one more guy to keep an eye on, Uche was fantastic last week as far as an under-the-radar rusher, and obviously the interior guys over that right guard or that left guard, Kansas City's left guard, Kingsley Suamataia. Something to watch. And the right tackle has got an injury. Jawan Taylor's got an injury. Probably should play, but their depth isn't great. So.
No. Question for Chris and Nate. If Worthy is in the lineup, we can probably assume he's going to be wearing one of those shoulder harnesses.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever wear one of those? And do you see that impacting like catch radius?
The little AC, joint, the little AC joint.
I had to wear one in college when I had a bad AC sprain, and I made them take it off.
I'm not gonna lie.
Immediately.
The only thing that makes that shit feel better is a cortisone shot.
Yeah, just shoot me
that
up.
Deep shot onto your bone.
Yep.
And it hurts like hell watching it go in. But 5 seconds after you get that shot, bro, you're like, what? And what injury for the next next 2.5 hours? You're like, what injury? Like, it's actually scary. Some of the shots you get because like something like your rotator cuff or your shoulder, your arm. It's like when you like, even if you slightly hurt your arm or your shoulder, you can feel it. But when you get that shot, like all that, you don't feel that anymore. And when you really think about that mentally, it's kind of scary.
Well, it's numbing the area.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you can throw the Toradol in there, the Ultram, just everything.
Well, they're giving guys epidurals now. I didn't know you can get that in the locker room.
You can get epidurals?
I thought honestly
Not just for
epidural.
pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's also for Matt Stafford.
I don't think
because he's sleeping on that fucking Serta.
Yeah, we are. It's just more and more things we do
He's
as football
share
players. It's kind of crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
Hey, imagine you tell your wife that had a baby before, like, yeah, babe, I got an epidural today so I can go out there and get 5 tackles.
Yeah. You try getting 5 tackles after giving birth. No, that's harder.
Definitely harder.
That's harder. All right, so top tier games in no particular order. I'll order them. The number one game I'm excited about is
Duval.
This is our bowl game, dude. You and me. Somebody's gonna be on the grill on Monday. No, they won't, because I think
Bengal meat is way
better than Jaguar meat.
I would think so.
You would think. Well, I think it's a big test for both teams.
Yeah,
I think that's what it comes down to. Like Cincy, for everything they've done in this league over the past 5-7 years, like this is them trying to get the September monkey off their back. Right? You start 1-0. It doesn't matter how. Low scoring win against Cleveland, who plays them tough all the time. So they're the only team last week in the NFL that didn't have a pass play of over 15 yards. You know how crazy that is?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's really bad.
Right. So that's not what it's going to be. And it's certainly not going to be that this week. I think Jacksonville's secondary it looked a lot better in week 1 than they did, last year. I will say this, though, and this is a sneak preview of the Panthers breakdown that you've all been waiting with bated breath for. Bryce Young got let down by his receivers in that game. I cannot wait to talk about that football game. But and I'm not saying they would have won, but I expect to see Bryce Young play terrible. I'll hold my comments for later.
The Jags were having one linebacker out there, 6 DBs. Legitimately.
Yeah, well, and they also got we saw Ventrell Miller. You had this, Nolan. You noted this down where Miller ran with a wheel. So,
picking up tight end wheel routes.
They looked better on the right sideline there. They looked better. Mm-hmm. They looked better on the back end. Where they didn't look a lot better to me is the interior defensive line. Like the interior defensive line for me is like there's just nothing. Your personnel is kind of your personnel there. You can get one cut downhill on these guys. If moving laterally for these guys is an issue. They can get washed off the ball. Like I think the gun runs, the gap scheme stuff that Cincinnati can feature from time to time, and I think Chase Brown's a great running back. Great running back. I hate throwing that word around because people know he's not a great running back. He's a great option for the Cincinnati offense. Like I think he fits them perfectly. I think the run game's going to matter. You look at that Cincinnati offense, you say we want to get the pass game going. I think they will. But it is the run game for me looking at them. And then you got to protect because those two guys outside are pretty good, Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines Allen. I thought the most interesting thing watching Jacksonville as a whole was watching their offense because obviously that's going to define the day for them. Liam Cohen's an offensive coach. You got to save Trevor Lawrence if you want a future, like a faster future. Like if he doesn't save Trevor Lawrence and they got to hit the restart button at the quarterback position, the rebuild's totally unpredictable. So this is his best shot to get out on a good foot. And I thought Trevor really did play well in some spots. But I would say the biggest thing that was different for them was the run game. The run game was a revelation. You knew it would be, I guess, with Liam Cohen, and the screen game was huge. I think they were up near the top of the league as far as screens. They gave Diami Brown multiple jet sweeps. They gave Brian Thomas Jr. an end around for a touchdown. I was impressed with the scheme, which is not a shock to me. I also think Carolina's defense is they don't have any rushers. I think Cincinnati's defense is. Their D-line is better just for having Trey Hendrickson, right? So I think they're going to be tested in a different way. And I will say this about Trevor Lawrence. And, like I'm not a hater, but I'm also like one that I got to see it to believe it, like over a sustained period. In that game, in the second half, he really missed some throws. I mean, early in the second half, he missed a few throws. Bryce had a terrible pick. Lawrence had a bad pick, right? Didn't see J.C. Horn. But I thought Trevor missed more balls than Bryce. It was wild watching it. Trevor and the receivers seem to be hitting their stride as far as finding space in zones. Like I feel like they understand, how to attack a zone defense. They got weapons out the ass. I think Travis Hunter is going to get a lot of work underneath, which is a funny thing because when you look at his frame, you're like, damn, he's going to get fucking tattooed in the NFL. Working in the middle of the field, but guys don't get clean hits on him. Like the first guy's going to have a hard time getting him down. You put him in the slot, he runs option routes, he runs slants. I was impressed with that offense generally. They looked a lot crisper, but it is Carolina. This week they said Travis Hunter's going to play more defense. They said he's going to play more defense. I guess that makes some sense. Like if you really, this is an interesting thing that I don't think I had thought about whenever I was doing the binary. Is he going to play everything all the time? Is he going to play one thing or the other thing? Well, what about the one thing some weeks and then the one thing some other weeks? Like that's an interesting prospect.
Game plan it, right?
Yeah, like specific game plans, like
matchups.
Certainly some like weeks where you're just in packages on one side of the football, but when you play Carolina one week, you don't really need the help out there. Jerry and Jones is probably Waldo for Jacksonville. Like we got to find him, and if we can find him and pick on him, great. And Cincinnati will be able to do that, But at the end of the day, if you think Travis Hunter is your best corner, and it's not a secret, but we're waiting to see it. He only got 6 snaps defensively. Then you throw him out there this week a little bit more. And you figure for the Bengals defense, which is out to prove something, and we talked about them as being improved, and I'm really interested to see how the young linebacker Knight, who I've been hyping up a little bit, plays against the team that gives you this many looks. I mean, they give you a lot of looks. You're going to get some screens. You're going to get some eye candy, and the middle of the field is going to be a high traffic area.
Be Strange, tight end.
Yeah.
State.
Yeah.
Good player.
Underrated player. He's got a fucked up name.
Brenton Strange.
That's not a star name, is it?
No.
It's kind of cool.
Dr. Strange.
Strange. So I look forward to this matchup. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Duval.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars going to start 2-0.
I love the way you're setting this up.
It's going to be so
They may
bad.
not get 3 takeaways every week.
It'll be the first time they start 2-0 since 2018.
You were talking about the defense and how they didn't have any sacks, but they had a lot of pressures, and Josh Allen. Now he
Not
wants
to be confused
called-
with the big
with the quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had 8 pressures. Walker had 4. So
They're
it's,
studs.
they're studs, and I feel like if they keep getting pressures, you know how it is. You keep getting pressures, those sacks, hopefully they'll come and they can force some turnovers. And they forced a nice interception the last game, so hopefully Joe Burrow doesn't scare me. I feel like if they can get a little bit of pressure on
Famous
him
last
early,
words.
like it can be a sticky day for them. I mean,
Dog.
think about it. They 7 total yards in the second half. So if you're thinking about the start of this game from their last half, like they're playing absolutely terrible.
Joe Burrow's lived with pressure his whole life.
Hey,
Like he's never been not under pressure.
hey,
They were
7 yards.
wheeling him out of the hospital. He got hit. Seriously, it's like so. I think the onus is on. Like I want to see what Jacksonville, and I wish it was Jacksonville. I want to see what Jacksonville does against the real defense. We don't know if Cincinnati's a real defense yet, but we'll see.
So even so,
Al Golden's got a big
I
test.
see what you're doing. So you're setting it up. So even after this win, it's going to be
No, I think they beat you. I think if
Jacksonville.
it's a race to 35 points, the Bengals win. Make no mistake about it.
Okay.
I think the Bengals win this game. I do, and I can't wait for Monday. Either way, he almost spilled his coffee. What say you, Make? What do you think? You got a lean?
Yeah, I think Cincy rolls.
He likes diamonds.
Rolls, he
likes
said.
he likes diamonds.
I think Cincy rolls.
Yeah. Well, here's the next top tier game. We got to put Denver and Indy, upstart Indy, Denver. Everybody's preseason darling, kind of limping out of the gate, week 1 offensively. Bo Nix, a couple questionable decisions.
Many
Many?
questionable decisions.
You want to see him clean those up. I think when you look at this game here, Indy is going to be – it's almost like a polar opposite situation for them, the offense, going into week 2. Week 1, and I'm not saying pump the brakes on Indy. The truth always lies somewhere in between. Are you pumping the brakes?
Pump them.
Pump the brakes.
Slam on those brakes.
I don't know about slam on the brakes. It's just there was a lot of space to attack against the Dolphins. And I will say this about your guy, Danny Dimes, who I know you don't want to, for the life of you, see succeed.
That's not true.
Is that how most Giants fans feel, you think?
No. We won a playoff game in the state of Minnesota.
That was fun.
We know he's average.
Mm-hmm.
He's not terrible. He's average.
Average starter.
Personality of a
Average
door
starter.
knocker.
Average starter.
Not as a Colt, he isn't. Maybe as a Giant.
Yeah.
If
Well, that's
you
what
think
we're gonna.
about
That's
it.
what we're gonna find out. I mean, like,
You
because
got to put some respect on his
I said
name
this
now.
before the season. I think this offense is better than the offense that he took to Minnesota and won a playoff game with.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a crazy thing to say. I don't
No.
think.
Jonathan Taylor's terrific.
Yeah, I mean, Saquon might be otherworldly, but other than that, like you look at the receivers he's got outside, offensive line. Now it is the Dolphins, but they held their own. There was a lot of space underneath to operate, you know, and when the Dolphins threw cover 2 at him, he found the voids. I mean, like he hit some balls, he hit the honey hole, he hit the deep outs, like. He made quick decisions when they got their man indicators and got the ball to somebody in space in the flats or whatever it was. Like they just, and I'm not surprised because Shane Steichen has taken a lot of shit getting caught up in the whole Anthony Richardson thing. But that was never probably in his heart of hearts who he wanted to roll out there and play quarterback. Like I don't know how that went, but that was a project. Like the last thing a coach wants to do, like 3 years into his first head coaching gig, is like, okay, here's a guy who's really raw. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? And now you've got Danny Dimes, who is not raw. His ceiling is a lot lower, but he's a guy who's going to distribute the football. He's going to be a point guard. And I thought, and the reason I gave out Jonathan Taylor for the Colts and the over receptions is he's a real security blanket. The one thing I liked about Danny Dimes this week, there was a couple things I liked, is when he didn't see anything, When his primary read wasn't there, he got to his second and third read. And, he got to Jonathan Taylor because when you dump him the ball in space, and there was a lot of it, there won't be as much this week. Although Denver's backers, without Dre Greenlaw in there, still the same group that prompted you to go get Dre Greenlaw, right? And I thought Hufanga played fantastic. He had a forced
He was all over
fumble.
the place.
He was all over the field. It will be one of those days for Indy where you're going to have to run the ball. Tennessee did it at times. Indy's going to have to run the ball, and they're going to have to just make that big fucking corner do cardio all day. Just don't even look at him. Somebody else has to win.
Get his steps
Pat
in.
Surtain has to get his steps in, check the Fitbit, but we're just gonna isolate him, and we're gonna work over here. Somebody else has to win.
I mean, Tyler Warren. He went right down the field.
Tyler Warren was fantastic.
He was splendid, and especially with our linebacking core, the Broncos linebacking core, that's something the Colts should and can exploit.
That's exactly right. How are you feeling about this matchup?
Not great, specifically because the Colts have they've got they can put a picture of Jonathan Taylor's dropped fumble, drop right before the goal line last year in week 14 or 15.
Yeah.
That would have won them. They would have won that game if he had just taken it.
And how different are the teams right now?
Wildly different. You have one that's just firing on offense, and they could do no wrong in week one, and another one that their head coach and offensive coordinator said, yeah, that was a tough one. I own that, and then his quarterbacks out running around and tossing speed bullets into the dirt.
Listen,
Calbs?
I think ultimately
It's a Nick 6.
I think ultimately,
right.
You said wildly different. They looked wildly different in week one than the preconceived notion of who they were going to be this year. But I don't think I think the Colts got better, right? Maybe they don't look like pump the brakes on that performance. And I think Denver got better, but, the pieces they added, Jahdae Barron's not out there yet. Really, I mean, he was out there in some packages, but they're still rolling McMillan out at nickel.
Yeah.
You think about Hufanga, he's made a difference. Greenlaw's not playing yet. The young running back got some reps. Harvey got some reps.
And that's what we need to do more. Like J.K. Dobbins and Harvey had two of the best numbers-wise stats, like yards gained after being hit across the league last week. And
so
we need to run the ball.
a lot of yards after contact for those two.
Yep.
So that's got to be your bread and butter while Bo Nix kind of gets it under control here.
Exactly.
The thing you have to remember about the Broncos is this, and it's the thing that Broncos fans don't want to hear is like last year didn't beat a bunch of good teams. Now I got a lot of respect for the Broncos, and I think they'll beat those good teams this year, but they got to prove that they can beat them. This might not be one of those teams just circled, but this is going to be a tough environment. It really will.
If you want to make the playoffs, if the Denver Broncos want to make the playoffs, you have to win this game. And if the Colts want to make the playoffs,
at the end of the year, we're going to be looking back at this game and saying, "Fuck,
yep,
it's that AFC opponent that's a tiebreaker or whatever." And so absolutely, this is going to be a big game when it's all said and done.
Yeah, the one little saving grace, we had 6 sacks last week.
Yeah,
Broncos led the league with 63 the year before in 2024. Let's get after Daniel Jones a little bit. I know the Colts offensive line, Tanner Bordolini, shout out, great week one.
Great interview. Also with Bo Allen over the.
But he might be in for it. Week 2.
I thought Benito looked sped up again, like even faster in week 1.
He was off the ball with the ball.
He was taking handoffs.
Yeah.
And Lucas Oil, when you guys hear that,
that's pretty good.
At least you'll feel at home,
Right, exactly.
That's true. It's horse on horse crime.
Horse on horse.
It's
Bronco
like
or a Colt. What's a better horse, a Colt or a Bronco?
A Bronco.
A Bronco?
Sure. Yeah,
Why?
for sure.
I don't know a lot.
A Colt's like a little horse.
Oh, it's a little horse.
Yeah.
Like a mini horse?
No, it's not a mini.
Like a baby.
It's a young horse.
Yeah, young.
Oh,
so
young.
Like the Bronco in the horse. What is this? Assateague? Got wild horses running around. Is that what is it? Chincoteague or Assateague?
Chincoteague for sure.
Isn't there a place in Virginia that has wild horses?
A place in North Carolina.
Or North Carolina. Yeah. What? Say again?
In the Outer Banks.
Oh, on the beach, right?
Yeah, it was in the Tom Hanks narrated The Americas.
Chincoteague pony.
Yeah. They fight out there, like the Broncos and the Colts.
A colt is a young, uncastrated male horse.
That's right. They haven't
Uncastrated.
cut his balls.
Uncastrated,
Haven't cut his
typical-
balls off yet.
Oh,
Typically under the age of 4. The term is not to be confused with foal, which is a gender-neutral term for any horse less than a year old.
oh, that's
A young female
I'm not
horse
gonna
is
say it.
called a
Stallion.
young female horse
a
is
gelding.
called a
No, not a gelding. A gelding's with the
A
nuts
young
off.
female
Pony.
horse.
Pony.
a filly.
A filly.
Mm.
That's right.
Oh,
Filly.
young
That's
female
interesting.
horse.
Yeah,
Wow.
talking horses. Okay.
Couple,
Go ahead. No,
Couple-
you got injuries?
just a couple key injury updates for actually in the Broncos' favor. Colts corner Travarius Ward in concussion protocol, and Laiatu Latu is dealing with a hamstring. So a couple key pieces for them on defense they might be without.
2 injuries
Latu
that
was.
you hate to hear.
You
first
hate to
week,
hear about that
after the
injury.
first week,
Yeah.
because they both potentially linger. A concussion can be a few weeks
Yeah.
to a month,
Yeah.
and hamstring is a weird injury just to have any week in the NFL.
Well, it sucks because you know what's funny about early in the season is depending on how your team runs your camp, that's the worst you feel in the season. Like because you
100%.
come out of camp like and everything's screaming at you. And then like if you have a coach that takes care of you, especially with the new CBA, the way you take the pads off and such, later in the year there's less of a load.
So do you think
Colt.
that for some people that what you're saying, if coaches maybe take it easy on some vets, they don't get that many reps,
Yeah.
you think that can cause a problem like a hamstring once you get into the first game?
Maybe for a
if
guy
you're
that's not cutting
exerting?
it loose. Yeah, but I would think it's just more like early in the season I remember like 1 year in Philly, I came into the season, I had like a torn quad from camp and I never got to rest it. And it didn't feel better until
Who knows?
like October or November
I was about to-
when I stopped, like, because practices slow down a little bit.
yeah.
You're just not going to practice the same because your body's all fucked up and coaches are taking the pads off and that sort of thing. Latu had a fantastic play, dropping in coverage. Him and I think Zaire Franklin were farming the same land, but he came up with the football and it was awesome. So, and Latu's a guy for me.
Looked like a linebacker.
He did. Latu for me is a guy that I just want to see succeed. I'm a big fan of his game in college. I think he's a technician. And I hope this year in a more aggressive defense from a coverage standpoint, the rush and the coverage work together a little bit better for him. And you get to watch my boy Stewart out there, Buckner. It's a fun little group. Can't forget Quiddy Pay. Underrated group up front for them. So Steelers-Hawks. Steelers-Hawks is the next high-profile game we've got. It's the last top-tier game. No, it's not the last one. I got a big one for you guys after this. I think Seattle's going to surprise some people this week. And you look at Pittsburgh's tape from week 1, and I know Mike Tomlin. I feel like if you're Seattle, there's 2 advantages you feel like you might have coming in this game. As strange as it sounds to say for a Seattle football team, you want to be able to run the football. That's like a Clint Kubiak deal, right? We've got to become more physical. Well, here's a great opportunity, albeit Steelers are going to be pissed off. Mike Tomlin ripped them a new one this week. Darius Slay talked about that. Different guys talked about like just the ribbing he gave that defense. There is no lonelier place in professional sports, period, than in a defensive meeting room after you've given up over like 200 yards rushing in the NFL. Like you give up a bunch of yards through the air, like that's not a manhood thing. But when you give up a bunch of rushing yards, even if the fits are just fucked up or the scheme might be bad, it just feels like being like your dad grounding you or something is how it feels, like sitting in there watching a DC rip into you. And Mike Tomlin, not the DC, but he leans defense, and so that's going to be unacceptable. And I know they didn't have Harmon, and I know Hayward had been working through some contract stuff, but they have to be better there. And I think for Seattle, they're going to want to run the football. And the other trouble spot for the Steelers is, well, it's 2 things kind of work together for me. And I know they'll put tight ends on the field and the whole thing, but they're not the deepest at receiver. Some guys made some really nice plays last week. The tackle spot, Broderick Jones, he's going to get Rodgers' ear hold every week. And for Seattle's front, that, beat up Brock Purdy last week a little bit and got after the quarterback. Like, I think they're looking at this as a real opportunity. Pittsburgh, the interesting thing for me is who's going to be on DK Metcalf. You think about Woolen, but Woolen can look on some of these deep balls. He can look a little lost sometimes. Like last week, he lost the ball in that Pearsall deal. So if you got DK on Woolen, and of course the practice field's the only place anybody's ever seen that, and now we get to see it on an NFL field. Like, I would think Seattle knows who matches up best. Spoon gives up a big size disadvantage. I'm not really sure how they decide to do that in crunch time.
Yeah, Woolen, I agree. I think he can be kind of a coverage dependent guy. Like, he really excels with the coverage cover three stuff.
Yeah.
But when you throw him a man, he can get exposed there a little bit. Witherspoon, on the other hand, he's also the injury report. So he's kind of dealing with some stuff. He was a DNP on Wednesday.
So I'm really curious to see. I hate to short this game a little bit, but I do think it comes down to a couple things. It's like I'm excited to see everyone else see how good Seattle's defense is. I think it's just one of those games where, like, you played last week in the 4 p.m. slate. You're buried by Green Bay and Detroit, and the Cam Ward show in Denver. Like, I think of all the games in the late window last week, geographically and just because of the storylines, I don't think a lot of people watched that Seattle-San Francisco game, and I think Seattle's defense is pretty fucking good, and you're going to get a big national market watching because of Pittsburgh.
Here's something for prop bet. You said you wanted a prop bet? How about Aaron Rodgers 2 passing touchdowns? You know why?
Why?
If he scores 2 passing touchdowns this game, he will pass Brett Favre at 508. Brett Favre is sitting at 508 touchdown passes. Rodgers is at 507. So he can tie and or pass Brett Favre this game for the 4th spot on the most touchdown passes all time.
Wow. That's going to be something to see.
You know Rodgers has that circle. He's like,
course
I'm
he
going to get this guy.
DK Metcalf throws that into the stands.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Like, hey,
That is funny.
that's like a plus 600, but I think I would take that bet that he just fucking chucks that thing into the stands. You said this earlier. I'm not seeing this game. I think I'm seeing it, but I can't wait to see it because it's just one of those things where I don't know who the Hawks are yet. I think they'll be very good at the end of the season. I think the offense has to improve. The biggest concern about the Hawks, is they're not deep from a weaponry standpoint. So, who's that guy in the middle of the field that's going to do the dirty work? Cooper Kupp.
Should be Cooper Kupp.
It should be Cooper Kupp, but they just don't have a lot of guys outside JSN and Cooper Kupp.
JSN accounted for 124 of the team's 150 receiving yards last week.
Yes. So we've got a little bit of a, production issue outside. I want to see if that gets better.
And one betting nugget in the Steelers' favor under Mike Tomlin, the Steelers are 28-11-1 against the spread the week after allowing 30-plus points on the defensive side of the ball.
How many times have they – well, I know it's a big sample size, but recently, how often are they winning games where they're giving up that much on –
Yeah, that is wild. He's given up 30-plus 40 times.
And then –
it's more than you think.
Yeah. I guess he's been doing it a lot.
He's been doing it a long time. Long time. Well, what's he in year fucking 20?
Times
You know what I'm
games
excited?
is 400.
You know what I'm excited to see?
Yeah.
Did you guys pay attention?
It's twice a year.
Did you?
More some years. Go ahead.
TJ Watt,
Yeah.
he was getting manhandled a little bit last game.
Was he?
Yeah, the Jets tackle was
Membu.
playing
I think
very well against him.
I think the Jets they're a bit of a it's like run tape porn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were mowing people out of there.
Well, if Membu turns out to be a guy, and we'll get to it in the Jets breakdown, but then you've got 2 stud tackles that you collected over the course.
Bro, I only watched I'm not going to say I watched the whole game, but I seen a few clips they were showing, and not only TJ Watt, A lot of guys on that front, we're
Yeah.
getting, like you're saying, we're getting rolled up out of there on like a few plays.
That's a powerful group now, and Buffalo's watching that tape and saying,
Yep.
and they're going to be up pretty soon. So the other thing is, I want to remind people this: Pittsburgh, for Pittsburgh fans, like I'm not saying what happened week 1 was fake. I just think it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think it's going to be a lot more of a serious test for that offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also what should be noted is Steelers have done a good job, at least through 1 week, of the returns that they've gotten out of their free agents. I mean, we talked about this last week, but all 3 of those guys, the big headliners, a lot of times you put together these little super teams with retread vets.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Ramsey makes the play to seal the game. Aaron Rodgers throws for a bunch of yards and looks really good physically.
Yeah.
And then obviously the third one would be DK Metcalf, who
You just got to keep Aaron Rodgers healthy. That's it. Just got to try to clean up that pocket. You can't let him get sacked 3 or 4 times a game.
Broderick Jones is a little bit of a liability out there, and I mean that with respectfully.
No, yeah.
They
got to start chipping. They got to start doing stuff just to help him out a little bit. And Rodgers is Rodgers. He can still throw that thing, and if he's in the pocket, he can find the open guy. So
Lawrence, Mafe, you're talking about one of the better groups, top to bottom of the defensive line. This is going to be a big test for them. Bigger test than last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it that way.
No, I hear you.
I would argue that. And Quentin Williams is a stud, but top to bottom, it's a pretty good group. So, anyways, the next one is going to be Atlanta and Minnesota. I think this is a top-tier game. I cannot wait to see this game. We talked about it a little bit in the open. I thought that J.J. McCarthy did everything he could early in that game, minus the pick 6. It was like nothing was going, but there was nothing there at times. School was in trouble. Like, he was just in trouble. And Darisaw coming back is huge. Like I said, the resiliency that he showed after the pick 6 really earned some respect from your teammates. I thought it was loud there. It tested their operations, the whole thing. They get to go home now. And for Atlanta, who really enjoyed a home field advantage, that kept that game really, really tight. And the Bucs had struggles early on when it was hopping in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It is Mercedes-Benz, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How many fucking Mercedes-Benz stadiums are there?
A few of them.
God, they got some money. But it ends up being a situation where, from an offensive standpoint, Minnesota plus a left tackle, minus the crowd noise, minus the bad footing, which affected both teams, but almost certainly affected Justin Jefferson and his ability to kind of dig in and feel like great out of his cuts, I'm sure. Like, that field was really fucked up. I look forward to seeing this offense play. And I also want to say this, Donovan Jackson played well. I talked about seeing him kind of look a little bit out of sorts in preseason in a really small sample size. He played well, man. He played well. So I look forward to seeing this group at full strength up front. And remember, the Bears had a couple guys down in the secondary. I think you're going to see some man coverage this week. Ulbricht's got those guys playing aggressive. Atlanta's got to get back to running the football. And Penix took too many pressures. I'll put it that way. I think he was pressured on 43% of his dropbacks. Like, that's not very good. Obviously, there's a 4-alarm fire at right tackle, which is his blind side. John Grenard's going to have a day. John Grenard at home is going to have a day. Van Ginkel, those guys. Another thing is the 2 guys inside, Hargrave and Allen, who are, again, retreads that, their former teams are watching, former fan bases, and saying, well, it was time to move on. And those guys are saying, no, it wasn't. They had a combined 10 pressures. They were all over the field. I think Hargrave had 2 sacks. So really, really good seeing what they've got up front. I think it's mission accomplished for Minnesota in beefing up that interior. And for Atlanta, they got to get back to running the football. And when they get to third down, they're going to have to block this front. But for J.J. McCarthy, he's going to see the best safety he's ever seen in Jesse Bates. I mean, so there's going to be certain areas of the field where he's going to be, you got to be careful. I know you're probably feeling confident and started to let it rip a little bit in the second half of that game, but you got to be careful. And then for Atlanta, they can pick on these corners. They can pick on these corners a little bit, Minnesota's corners. So I think they'll be scoring in this game.
And Van Ginkel has a concussion.
Van Ginkel has a concussion?
Yeah. Status uncertain.
Uncertain?
Yep.
Well, that would be a shame. I think Ivan Pace showed up on – did Pace show up on the injury report? Yeah. What else we got from an injury standpoint?
In that game, so Harrison Smith, he's been dealing with a personal health issue kind of through training camp. He missed week 1, said he expects to return week 4. It was Cashman, I think you're thinking about, Chris. Blake Cashman.
Cashman was hurt.
Time.
Yeah.
And then Van Ginkel, as Macon said, in protocol, as well as Jeff Okudah. So they got a couple guys in the defense there.
That's not good.
But yeah, and just on the other side of the ball, I don't know if you saw this too, Chris. Like, I would love to see the Vikings just lean on the run game a little bit more than they did on Monday night. I thought Jordan Mason had some great reps. He had one play, that the touchdown at the end to Jefferson, outstanding pass pro rep.
Mm-hmm.
He there was like kind of like a twist with Edmonds and whoever was looping around. He initially picks up Edmonds, recognizes it's a twist. He's picking the center, passes him, and then absorbs the looper. Incredible play. Gave him the split second. JJ needed to throw the ball, into the end zone. So I thought Mason had a great game, and I hope they go to him some more this week.
For sure. That took a while to get that going. That took a while to get the run game going. But once they did, it was like they finished the night with the football, pretty much. Here's a clock thing. I brought this up with Big Cat earlier this week.
Yeah.
You kick the ball out of bounds in that situation at the end of the football game.
You have to.
I don't know what's going on there. Big brain Ben Johnson.
You have to.
Kick the fucking ball out of bounds.
That was obvious.
It was obvious to me. And I was on my second left-handed cigarette. Give me a headset, bro.
The only thing I didn't quite get was the return man. I mean, was he really looking toward the sideline for what to do? Because
he should have already been told.
Bring it out no matter what.
He was already told. He just was like, really? Like,
just making sure in the split second that I have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to kick it out of bounds.
So
or, as my man who made up the frickin' rule, just kick it 6 inches in front of you. That's the same.
That's the same thing. Same penalty.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the must-see top-tier games. Now, those are the best games, but there are games I'm really excited to see. There's games that I'm very interested in, like Rams-Titans. This is the interesting tier. Rams-Titans, man, super interesting to me because I watched the Cam Ward show earlier, actually yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it back.
Receivers let him down.
They did. He's got a lot of mustard on those footballs. Like he's got a live arm, so there is some adjustment period when you're running the jug. When you're running down the seam.
Yeah,
like this was another thing where, and I'm gonna get there with Carolina, but like if you had better receivers, you win that game. Carolina maybe doesn't win that game, but if Tennessee has better receivers, they win that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were multiple bad drops. Chiga Okonkwo dropped a bullet. There were multiple Ridley drops. I also think, like, for Cam Ward, starting week 1, Denver, week 2, now you're not going to see – I don't know if you'd say that the defense isn't as good as Denver's defense, but the front's pretty fucking good. The front's pretty fucking good, and Shula's going to be, the pre-snap stuff, the sim pressures like that we talked about last week. That's going to be something they got to sort through, and I think one of the biggest concerns I have in this game is Dan Moore.
64 out of 65 tackles in week 1, pass blocking grade.
Oh, Dan Moore?
Dan Moore.
It wasn't good. It was not good.
It could get worse.
It will get worse.
But just barely.
Now, Latham was looking pretty good at right tackle. Latham was looking pretty. He gave up a sack, and people are going to say, well, he just blew right by him for the sack, backed up on the goal line, but he wasn't even out of his stance. Like, that was a situation where he had the snap count wrong, which is a mental mistake by him on the road, and he's a tick late. But when he was ready to set, he actually looked pretty good over there. So I would say that, like, that's a good start for him at right tackle. He had moved from left to right back to his, like, college position. But the guy that they brought in, remember when we went to camp, heard the story about, like, he'd been training with Dan Moore, and Dan was on a different team. He was on the Steelers. And then like one day, I don't know, Latham like couldn't get a hold of the GM or the coach or something. He's like, we're actually bringing in a tackle. He's a guy you might know, and you're moving to right tackle. And honestly, the young guy played a lot better than the vet. Now it's a tough assignment drawing those fucking werewolves in Denver. But I expect him to at some point be a little bit better than that. But to your point, 64 out of 65th, well, PFF grade. But the tape confirmed that in this. Yeah, well, look out. The tape confirmed that, and so I do also want to bring this other thing up from the standpoint of the Titans. And I know I really enjoyed my interview with Brian Callahan, and I appreciate them opening up their homes. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be honest about what I saw. There were two issues that have to never happen again if you're the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Number one, in a field goal football game where teams are just kicking field goals, and when you're in plus territory, being incredibly in the red zone, everything being really conservative, then you get the ball with like a minute to go in the half, backed up on the shadow of your own goal line, and you throw twice. Denver's got like one timeout or two timeouts at that point. But either way, it was a clear situation where you run the ball a couple times, you punt, or run the clock down to nothing and get the fuck out of there. Instead, you end up in a football game that ends 20-12, giving up a touchdown before the half. Like, to get the ball in a game like that and to give it back and allow a score with the time the way it was is like a cardinal sin.
47 seconds is when they had 1st and 10 from their own 7, incompletion, sack, took 7 seconds off the clock.
It was bad. That was a bad deal. And then the other things, the Io Manor, challenge flag debacle, where not only do you fuck the challenge flag up thing, you don't challenge because obviously you don't know the rules, but after the game, you let us in on the secret that you don't know the rules. Like who's the guy in the earpiece?
Yes.
Not just like if you have a brain fart as a coach, that's discouraging, but somebody's got to be in your fucking ear. Like, Coach, nah.
Do you
an elbow counts? A fucking, like.
And that one was hard because it is like bang bang. He the elbow landed maybe a split second before his.
So
bat.
You could say, hey, I wasn't sure, but then when you take the podium after the game and be like, hey, well,
yeah, that's
got to get 2 feet down.
Head coach, you gotta, yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people know that.
Give you a headset.
Again, bro, give me a headset. I'm not saying.
Do coaches have like PR people like that, like in the locker room that should like be helping you out maybe at the end of the game?
I think that team's got a fantastic PR guy.
Like everyone's.
I think the coach needs to.
Everyone can't wait to ask you this.
I think the coach needs to be on his game, and I think whoever's in his ear failed him in that situation as well, because that's supposed to be the fail-safe.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, throw the flag, and here's why.
And maybe Sean Payton could use another voice in his ear, too, at times.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I just thought those two things. And then 135 yards of penalties for Tennessee week 1.
Can't win like
the reason we're not leading with what the Rams need to do, what the Rams need to do is obvious. The Rams need to do what the Rams do, right? It's Matt Stafford picking apart zone. I thought Brownlee, who we like, undersized. It's David and Goliath with him and Cortland Sutton, but he's handsy. That's the way he is, and you start picking on guys like that because free 15, free 20 yards, free spot foul. That's pretty good when you got a guy out there who's like that. And I think again, Snead looked a lot better week 1 than he looked last year. So that's. And I should say this for Denard Wilson, he went toe-to-toe with Sean Payton and won. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a good day at the office for that group. The offense has to take better advantage. I haven't even told you what I thought of Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I think Cam Ward's a lot of fun. It's hard for me not to smile when I'm talking about Cam Ward because Cam Ward has the tools, brother. He has the tools. He threw a couple balls flat-footed. I know we have fun with the little flip that he started his career off with, the back and the flat, and nobody sees where the back but him.
Mm-hmm.
He threw some balls out of a hole. Like, with the pocket collapsing around him, no space to step up, flat-footed, just zingers, bro. 35-yard zingers on, deep outs and shit like that. I think the receivers have to catch up to the quarterback. And the completion percentage was low, but there were tons of drops. They also never let him get into a rhythm. He never got into a rhythm. So for the Rams, they got to do what they do, man. This is just hey, we're the better team. That quarterback's turning some heads, but we got to show up and run the football and attack zone, and our D-line's got to eat. There's no reason, if you're that D-line, that you look at that group on tape and say, especially if our guy Latham's down. Is Latham down still at this point in the week? If he's down, if they got both tackles down?
Yeah, Latham's on the injury report, as is Tavondre Sweat.
Oh, and Sweat being out's a big deal as well.
As is the Rams' offensive line.
Well, the Rams have a lot of injuries right now. Avila.
They're all banged up, yeah.
Was it Dotson?
Yeah. Avila, Dotson, and Rob Havenstein.
Bro, this is these quarterbacks are going to be a little bit under siege, especially if dude's inside. You find your fish for Jeffrey Simmons. If Sweat's up and Simmons up,
under
might be an under situation.
Like the Titans.
Man, can we go back and give that out again? It's almost like we should look at the injury report a little bit closer.
Real fast, when the Rams under McVay go from Pacific time to East Coast time, they are to play a road game. 13-4-2 against the spread, covering the number by 5.1 points per game. They are 17-8-2 straight up, 18-9 against the spread, playing the road on the East Coast. The last two seasons.
That's a real fallacy.
Sean McVay loves a plane ride.
He does. Next one's Buffalo and New York. Buffalo and New York. Listen, man. The Bills are used to playing the same old Jets. And the same old Jets at times have given them trouble. The same old Jets have been, it's a scrappy group. But I think when you look at the tape this week and when you look at the tape of how your defense played in the run game against Baltimore, which is no surprise, we're used to them looking small against that group. But as we said, New York put on a fucking clinic. I mean, a ton of zone, inside zone, outside zone. Ravens tape is going to have some answers for those guys. They're going to try to copy some of the things that gave that group trouble. And so those guys really need to stand up this week. The Bills defensive line needs to stand up this week. If I'm playing Josh Allen and I'm the Jets, I'm going to hold on to the football as long as I can. I'm going to do that thing where Josh Allen, his fucking legs fall asleep. He's sitting on the bench for so long. Like me on the toilet playing Game Boy when I was a kid. You remember how your legs used to fall asleep when you had a good magazine on the toilet? That's how I'm going to get Josh Allen he's going to be sitting on that fucking bench. So Waldo is whoever's playing corner for the Bills opposite Benford. If it's the rookie, if it's Trey White, I don't know where that is right now. Use motion to get your matchup. What happened?
So you don't want to be Waldo.
No, you don't want to be Waldo. You do not want to be Waldo.
You get found.
Yeah, you don't want to find Waldo. You don't want to be Waldo.
Okay.
Because offensive coordinators are getting good at that. They'll find Waldo. So use the motion to get your matchup. I mean, the Bills played a lot of man. So if you want to get Garrett Wilson the matchup you want, you could certainly, you got alignment flexibility. And then the Bills on the other hand are going to look for Brandon Stevens, who was the Baltimore guy last year who struggled, somehow got $12 million in New York. I ain't mad at you. And really in week one looked kind of like the guy from last year. So that to me is a big one. But I want to say this. The Jets, what gets me so excited about them is things like Xavier Gibson And
Excellent.
I hate seeing people getting released.
Excellent return man. Will make a difference somewhere.
And it's New York.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you didn't know?
G-Man?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
He's best plane ride, no plane ride at all.
Best plane ride ever.
He just walks into the same stadium every day. Nate told me right before we walked in. He's like, check
How great
this
is
out.
that? How great is that? You don't have to get a new spot to live. You don't have to break your lease for the spot you're in.
You still know the same yellow jacket guys?
you probably have a different route. You have a different route to work, but depending on where you live, your route can even technically be closer than it was, depending on where he was living at. But I think that's great. And then on Sundays, your locker room is around the corner from where your old locker room was.
How many times do you think he's gonna, keep going to the Jets locker room on Sundays, and his guys are gonna be like, "Yo, come on back."
No, the dudes are gonna be like, "Hey man, good to see you. Don't drop any fucking balls today." Like it's gonna be one of those things.
Just one big piece of injury news for the Bills game. We talked about the Jets run game.
Don't tell me.
News today.
Don't tell me.
Ed Oliver.
No.
Ankle. DNP. Walking boot. Scooter.
No.
Uh-oh.
Not the scooter for my dog.
Scoot.
We need some of the prayer candles that I like to light up in here. That's a big one, dude. He made some huge plays the other night. He's kind of the heart and soul of that front seven now, in my opinion. I mean, Bosa looked really good week one. I mean, he did a lot of things like run and pass well. But yeah, so it's just going to be like a great opportunity for Justin Fields. Can you imagine them finding a way to beat the best team in the division? Like how seriously people would take the Jets?
And there is a letdown for teams that come back like that the following week.
Yeah, it was a fucking NBA game, dude.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Justin Fields fumbles twice. What's Aaron Glenn going to say?
Not going to cut him.
I mean, obviously not, but what are you going to say?
Can't do that.
Okay. Like as a
Can't do
coach,
that,
but if you did this whole thing that just happened, like I understand it. I've played with coaches.
Yeah.
Like, hey, taking care of the football is very high on the priority list for a lot of coaches. So something like fumbling in a game, I can see guys get cut. But
if you only touch the ball a couple times a game and on one of them you fumble and you don't do anything else for the team,
absolutely,
that's like that's the deal. Like we can't be fumbling on special teams. That lost the game for them.
It absolutely did, and it sucks to say that. And you always hear the not one play loses a game, but when you go down the stat sheet and you watch the way that game went, them losing that possession and the ball when they did, it probably.
So the next team's the Dolphins, and we're going into the chaos tier. These are games that I think are going to be fun for the purpose of chaos. New England and Miami, because if one of these teams starts 0-2, there's going to be a bloodlust in those cities, in whichever city it is. I mean, Mike McDaniel might be like his.
How about a tie?
The tie would be hilarious. Mike McDaniel, tie feels. They say it's like.
But in a situation like that for these two teams, like if they got a tie, you think they would feel like?
I think they feel fucked up. I'm trying to tell you, the only time I tied in the NFL, it was actually I tied twice. I think.
Ooh.
I think I tied once. We almost tied in like consecutive weeks, or no, it was the same year we played San Francisco, and we played them in San Francisco, and it was like a fucking. It was 2012, I think. And we go toe to toe with them in San Fran. It was Colin Kaepernick's first game. It was one of those 4 p.m.s that starts with the sun out, and then it's nighttime by the end of it. It's at the stick and everything. Mm-hmm. And they're lining up for a field goal at the end of the game, and I don't know the new overtime rules really. Like it's like one of those things. We damn near we tie them. Danny Amendola touchdown comes back. It does feel totally fucked up. People are walking around after the game like, oh, come on. But you can't be mad, but like, and then we played them again and beat them like 12-9 and in overtime. So we almost tied them twice. A tie would be fucked up. Somebody's going to lose this game. Somebody's going to lose this game, and whoever loses this game, the seat, I'm not talking about New England and Vrabel's seat, but like if it's Miami, the seat on Mike McDaniel's little chair is going to be so fucking hot, dude. Mm-hmm. this is a powder keg situation down in Miami. And for New England, a team that did not look like a Mike Vrabel team last week at all. It just did not look like they didn't look like they knew how to muddy it up, right? If they start 0-2 with all the expectations there, people are going to be upset. You know, people in New England, they're not used to this. You know, old people listening, they're like, oh, we're fucking used to this. Like, we were around before Tom Brady. But there's a generation of fans that they're like, enough already. We want to see us start 2-0. Or, you know, at the very least 1-1. If one of these teams when one of these teams loses, it's going to get hot in that city.
Yeah, dumpster fire starting in Miami if they lose this game because they had a lot of off the field issues with Tariq going on. And
well, that's one of the biggest things.
And if that goes bad, and then they ruin all the draft stock with him, then what are you going to do?
Well, no,
because like what team wants to grab him if that's hovering over his head?
Tyreek Hill's untradeable. He's untradeable. It doesn't matter if it happens.
Yeah.
Now, maybe something like
Kansas City Chiefs.
No cap room.
That's cap.
No cap room. That is cap. No cap room. But here's the problem with Tyreek Hill. And you know, they've been through this. I mean, we've been through this before with Tyreek. I'm not gonna speak on a situation that I don't know the details of beyond his ex-wife alleges that there were like 8 separate instances of domestic violence.
Yeah, who knows?
And so it's you know, it's a deal where now the NFL is going to start looking into the what do I even call it, the domestic violence filings, and they'll probably very likely interview his ex-wife, and if his ex-wife says yes, then who knows where it goes. If she says no and she doesn't want to, comply with the investigation, then we're probably past it. And again, this isn't me. I don't have a judgment either way. Like, domestic violence is bad. I don't know what happened. We're talking about the football, unfortunately. The football part of it is this. I don't care what the nature of the investigation is. Nobody's going to trade for Tyreek because this thing's going to drag on all year if it goes that way. And so what you have now is you should have traded him while you could have. You should have traded him the minute he fucking walked off that field. And that is the fundamental weakness of the Miami Dolphins. Besides, I think, quarterback play that's not as good as people think, and now that's starting to get exposed. The culture there, like, are you kidding me? Like, dude walks off the field, he's not an ascending player anymore. Like, he's a hell of a player. Too many balls are going to him on Sunday anyways. Like, I want to see Jalen Waddle get the ball. Like, that's what the future looks like there. But when he walked off that field last year, you had an opportunity this offseason. Now it's gone. So you can't get anything for Tyreek Hill. I think watching them last week, they looked lost. Even the things that used to be easy for them looked hard. He was missing some balls that Tua was missing balls that I expect him to hit. You know what I'm saying? And
that's a lot coming from you.
No, and that's a big funny thing, but when things are right, he's throwing darts out there underneath. But there were some moments where he just plain missed people, or he threw them into the sideline, or, I expect the deep balls to be off, sporadic. I know that's a big joke and everything, but like, I expect that. And not every quarterback has every skill set.
Yeah.
But right now he looks a little lost. And Achane, who's probably the biggest trade piece that they have offensively here, I kind of wonder if I can sell Devon Achane to the Denver Broncos.
Come on. Stunt RJ? RJK?
A little speed back there. I mean, the Broncos just could Deuce Vaughn. You got a little speed.
You really think they wouldn't listen to a proposal for Devon Achane?
Soft tissue.
Yeah, I think we're set in the running back.
You're set.
Yeah, we're good.
I don't think you're set, just for the record. That's okay.
Achane Reed.
Hey, man, I love my RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. Look at the stats, man.
Look at the stats.
RJK.
I also think, like, you look at their defense, and we knew this was going to be a problem, the Dolphins' defense, but, like, they're down now. Ducks got an injury. I think I had another corner, Ethan Bonner.
Ethan Bonner,
who's banged up as well. So a secondary that's not great. It's not getting any better. But Rasul Douglas, my man, when he came in the game, like he looked competent to me at least. And maybe Sewell has to play more. Willie Gay's there. He didn't play at all. Now, their two backers are they think pretty highly of them, I guess, in Brooks and Dotson. But Willie Gay didn't play at all. And Weaver was like, we got to find a way to get him on the field more. So positives for Miami, the left side of the line looked pretty good. Like, I think those are promising players. Like center, I said again, is like a point of strength for them. Now, the problem is Austin Jackson is out. So, again, you've got the reshuffling of that offensive line as early in the season for that. And Austin Jackson, I think, was hurt in preseason. So I want to see more Waddle. But if they start 0-2, we're going to start talking about a yard sale.
Well, and it's going to be 0-3 because they're at Buffalo on a Thursday night.
If they start 0-3, because if they start 0-2, they're starting 0-3.
Yep.
It will be a yard sale down there, and Mike will not survive the fall. Or the September, the first month of the fucking fall. Where do you think Mike ends up next year?
Jacksonville.
No,
he's
San
senior
Francisco.
assistant.
No, he's gonna be an offensive coordinator somewhere.
San Francisco.
No, like one that actually calls the plays.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? So predict for me right now.
But maybe he doesn't need to be calling the plays. Maybe you got
Seattle?
What is he, a culture guy?
Maybe you got to take a step back and take a step forward.
No, and I like, because I like Mike. I have a personal belief that if Mike had a different QB, they would have won a couple playoff games by now. That's just me. It's just there's no escaping the context of how a quarterback plays when you're talking about a franchise and their window, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not me dumping, but I'm just saying, like,
so what kind of quarterback would you like to see Mike with?
I got you.
Baker Mayfield.
Ooh.
Baker fucking Mayfield, dude.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Noel.
I have one that is probably considered rage bait. It's in the NFC North.
Eagles?
They played in Green Bay.
Nope, it would be Detroit Lions. That would be incredible. That would be incredible. That would be fucking fantastic. That would be fantastic right there.
How about New York Giants?
Just bookmark that.
Head coach Brian Flores.
Bookmark.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel's going to be like, I'm not dead yet, dude. Like,
quarterback Jackson Dart.
I like Mike, dude. I like Mike.
Dart?
Now, we haven't talked enough about New England. We need to see more verticals. We need to see some John Gannon action there. We need some pew-pew. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So this is just one of those things where
Vrabel, make practice harder. Get those guys together. Get them in shape.
But the Pats need to run the football to be able to unlock every area of the field. Like Boutte, he was pretty good last week. Diggs is going to be fine, but they have to run the football. It really surprised me that they didn't get off to a better start against that Raiders defense, which I think is more of a compliment to Patrick Graham and that group. Your AFC West champion Raiders.
The Raiders.
And that group's seeing two pretty good groups outside to start the season.
Yep.
Right? So, I don't know. We are on Zach Wilson watch. Tyreek is untradeable. The defense is in trouble. Miami is burning, dude.
Yeah.
One thing for New England was the rookies played well up front. The offensive linemen, and Will Campbell was fine. I know we could go back to that 4th and 5. I know he had some pre-snap stuff, gave up a sack to Kuntz, but it's his first day at the office. And as he put it, he goes, even the bad teams have Pro Bowlers in the NFL. That is the biggest difference between college and the pros. So he's going to see good rushers every week, and he'll continue to grow. The arms won't grow, but he'll continue to grow. And I like Will Campbell. So
Mike McDaniel's future team hosts the Bears.
That's that's perfect. Dennis Allen has a lot of experience on Morton. However, I did take the Lions because I think ultimately they're going to get back to doing what they do best this week. The run game was abhorrent. I do think the interior is a lot worse, and it might not look as easy for them at times this year, but I just want to see where they go after a week where the offense didn't look as creative. Certainly didn't look as physical. They were bad in the red zone. When I really break it down, I don't have a lot of evidence as to why they're going to play better offensively, but I think they do. You got to get Gervon Dexter blocked because that dude looks like a stud to me. And he's continued to ascend as his career's gone on. This is a formidable front that they got to deal with. Now, we do have some secondary soft tissue injuries, don't we?
In Chicago, you mean?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Johnson will be back, it sounds. Kyler Gordon, still a DNP.
So, I mean, I don't know, fellas. What do you make of this game? Because I gave it out, but I'm a little bit it's a lot of points, which is part of the reason I gave it out. Because I think most people are going to be on the Bears. Or am I with most people thinking that the Lions rebound?
We can get to that answer.
Jared Goff is 11-5 against the spread in his career. The game after being sacked 4+ times, covering the spread by over a field goal per game, and under Goff and Campbell, Detroit is 10-4-1 straight up after rushing for fewer than 100 yards as a team, going 10-1 in this spot the last 11 games dating back to mid 2021.
Bro, you know when like your dad yells at you like real bad, like how locked in you are? That's kind of the way they're going to be.
Did you see Dan Campbell at the podium the other day? Like, some reporter asked some silly question that was like, hey, why don't you just run the exact same offense that Ben Johnson ran last year? And he was like, is the sky falling, essentially, is what he said. He was like
that's also rage bait.
Right.
Just plug that into an algorithm.
Yeah, the reporter was like, you didn't have any pre-snap motion, and Dan Campbell was like, why don't you go back and watch the game and count all the pre-snap motion, all the shifts, all the things that we did, and then come back and talk to me. Like, he was so exhausted you could tell just him answering that question. He was just like, geez, dude, I don't need to deal with this.
Yo, do you know that movie Mickey 17?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Where they just keep cloning the guy from Twilight?
Yeah.
And they put him in like dangerous situations. Yeah. Like Ben Johnson 17. You know, you start just swabbing his DNA, and eventually, like you're just like cloning an OC
right
for when he leaves. Like we might get to a point where there's seriously an algorithm running offenses.
Mm-hmm.
You think about that? You think eventually we might have like a damn computer OC?
Hell yeah.
I think we sort of do. Probably.
We kind of do with like a human proxy, but
how do we know already? Like some of these coaches aren't using AI to think up their game.
They definitely are. I mean, AI. Well,
or you're probably hiring people, consulting with people to help you.
Well, Nolan,
right?
I would say AI, and maybe I'm misunderstanding it in the context of football, but it's like what we're talking about here is analytics, and you use AI to aggregate analytics and that sort of thing.
At this point, I definitely feel like maybe in the future, maybe that's what they should do for the All-Star game. Have 2 AIs coaching and thinking up all the plays, start to finish, and then see what type of production, what type of game we get from that with plays, and see if the players are happy. Because it's funny, because if the AI, if they start doing everything, hey, bro, you think you're good? The computer might think you're trash. Like, you're on the bench. Analytics say you need to be on the bench, bro.
Ben 17 is taking you out of the lineup.
Right?
I don't know. I play Madden, and
Ask Madden, right?
Madden.
It's not always what you think or want.
Especially on like 4th down when they're going for it on 4th and like 17 and they're
Fake
like
punt.
field goal block.
hey, defensive stay. Defensive stay.
I don't know, man.
Which offensive coordinator uses the most AI right now? Which one would you pick?
Oh, that's a great question. Which offensive coordinator? NFL.
They're in a meeting, and this OC says, hey, I've been, I asked AI. They said on this play we should have done this.
Okay, let's see.
Gemini.
I just got your first 15
I think of like
there.
the most analytically
15.
minded organizations, like Eagles, Ravens, Browns, are heavily invested there.
As you think about offensive coordinators who are
Kevin Stefanski, he's like, I don't want to do this shit. Fuck this. You try.
Yeah.
You try.
So
Computer.
Macon put in a first 15 into Google Gemini.
Okay.
Play 1, I formation, power run. The quarterback hands the ball off to the running back, who follows a pulling guard and a lead blocking fullback through the A
Good.
gap.
Dynamite.
That's great. I'm on board. Play 2, shotgun, zone read. Great.
Play 3, empty backfield, screen pass.
I could go.
Play action bootleg is the play 4.
I'm going to try this later.
Let's put this into Madden. Let's see how we do.
I'm going to try later. The down and distance might be all fucked up, but I'll try. And then we've got the
Hey, my 30,000 foot takeaway from the other night was that it's not going to work out for the quarterback in Chicago, and I know that's a well trodden path, but there were a lot of people who were open that did not receive the football.
Oh, we are talking about Chicago. We might as well talk again about Caleb Williams. It's a good point. Caleb Williams, the throw he made to Rome Odunze in the red zone on the script was like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah.
Everybody in Chicago, here we go.
Bruh, the amount of hype I seen from that, and I had some old teammates, Israel Adonijah and Henry Melton, they were in the box at the game, and it's funny just seeing everyone's real time, like their stories and the stuff they're posting, and everyone in that box took a shot screaming Super Bowl. After that first drive.
Super Bowl, dude.
For the Bears.
Which is hilarious because
And
Big
it's
Cat wasn't
so-
even screaming Super Bowl.
And it's so funny. And then, like, literally his story from the start to the finish of the game, I think he had a bunch of posts at the end of his story saying, life comes at you fast. Because everything for the first half of that game was, the Bears, this is the year. We're going to the Super Bowl. Caleb's about to take it to the promised land. And then all of that.
Well, I'm trying to pull up some old tweets here. Freezing Cold Takes did a pretty good job, I guess. But there was a lot of people, and I wasn't on Twitter the other night, but like crushing J.J. McCarthy, right?
Yep.
Oh, this was great. September 8th, Colin Coward. Remember how he was the one raising the alarms on J.J. McCarthy in camp? This was 10:05 p.m. September 8th. That was the game?
Yep.
They are protecting J.J. McCarthy, nothing more. He's a mile away, and the Vikings staff knows it.
How giddy do you think he was walking around his house at halftime? Like, I nailed it. Awful announcing.
Oh,
Freezing Cold Takes. Suck it.
yeah, suck it, dude.
Suck it.
Yeah, suck it, Trebek. I just did my thing on the internet. Skip Bayless, that's it. Bears win. J.J. McCarthy was playing so carefully, too carefully, until he went blind against the rush and threw Chicago a gift. It's poetry. Carson Wentz, paging Carson Wentz from Michael Fabiano. So people had that all fucked up the other night. Okay, that's why we don't tweet until the end of the game. So Cleveland, Baltimore, we talked about how disrespected Cleveland feels. I don't know what to say about this game. It's like eternally the same game. It's just the same game forever. The Ravens jump out to a multiple score lead, and the Browns find a way to make it close. That's the way I think this game goes.
Whoever loses this game starts off 0-2. What happens either way for this?
Nothing in Cleveland. Panic in Baltimore.
Yeah. What will the headlines read in
If
Baltimore?
Baltimore starts 0-2,
Hangover would be in every headline.
no, I think Harbaugh is the word in every headline. Like, he's been, for good reason, one of the more untouchable coaches in the NFL. And they're not going to start 0-2. Come on. They're going to beat the come on, right?
Every single
Right.
spread stat, everything.
Hey, any given Sunday.
No, I know.
My thing is,
They just blew like a multiple
look,
touchdown lead to these guys like last year with Deshaun Watson being the quarterback.
as a Browns player, my thing is every week when I see the line or I hear people talking, I'm just like, they have a player named Myles Garrett that can literally alter a game if he feels like it. And I just feel like some of these games that everyone thinks the Browns are going to lose, Myles Garrett can truly take over and try to destroy, yes. Will it?
Well, they got some pretty good cover guys, and that's a big part of it. Is like when you got good cover guys behind a rusher like that, and also against an offense like this that isn't real top heavy outside. I mean, like it's just not like an incredible group. Like they can find ways to make a game scrappy, and part of it is going to be, I mean, a lot of it's going to be stopping that run. Right?
Yep.
You got to be hunting turnovers. If you're Cleveland, the way you lost the game last week is the way you got to win the game this week.
Ryan Fitzpatrick had a great tweet on that Myles Garrett where he looped inside.
Yep.
Coming right up. He said, "Oh, so you want to play quarterback in the NFL?"
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Boom.
This is what happens.
This is how you feel,
dude. The end zone shot of that is crazy. Watching Myles Garrett run down the barrel and just like kind of make Joe Burrow disappear.
I'll be dog cussing the center on that. Dog cussing them.
How'd you forget this fucking guy?
Like guys.
How'd you forget this fucking guy?
I can accept getting hit by anyone else on this front except for Garrett. Like, get some eyes and some hands on him for sure.
We're moving into the bottom tier of games. I know Browns fans are like, "Come on, man! You shout our best players from week 1 out." We're over time here. Getting into the flyover games a little bit for me, I would say New York and Dallas is probably on the edge there of being a flyover game. I'm interested to see the game. Bland's going to miss a couple weeks. I see a little light at the end of the tunnel for you guys, a little crack in the doorway for the Giants here. If they had who they wanted to play quarterback, playing quarterback, who should be playing quarterback right now for your New York Giants, Macon?
It should be Russell Wilson.
Yeah, for how long?
I think it's calendar dependent, which is the question you just asked. 2 months.
2 months.
He got to pick it up if he wants to make it that long. I feel like this is a situation for Dable. Like once he makes that switch, he probably has 2 games for that young kid for Dart to play well, or they're going to run him out of there. I feel like once you make that switch.
It depends on when he makes the switch, I think.
And
if you do it sooner, your leash is longer.
You think so?
Oh, for sure.
But if it doesn't go, what if it doesn't go well? Like, what if you do it like, all right, so they lose this game coming up with Russell. You take him out. You're like, all right, I'm going with Dart.
Mm-hmm.
Dart plays 2 terrible games after that, and y'all are now 0-4.
Well, it's a month into the season. They certainly could fire him. But they also might say, like, and I don't know the dynamic of the relationship in the building, but like they could say, "Hey, you'll get a certain amount of time with this kid."
Mm-hmm.
And also Dayball probably also knows how long his leash is internally. And I would think though, generally, if you think Russell Wilson stinks at this stage, he's not extending your life in the building. A bad Russell Wilson start is like hey, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Dart struggling in his first game or 2 in the NFL, like you've got some time.
But I'll
give you some time.
As a coach, if you feel like this is your last ditch effort, like do you want to go out like on a rookie's arm or a vet? Like would you
I think for the Colts, and it's funny, there's a lot of people that probably had to eat crow about the Daniel Jones thing, and maybe they'll be done eating it because they'll look like shit this week. But if he looks good for some reason this week, there was a lot of people that said the only reason that Daniel Jones played is to give the coach and the GM a better chance of not getting fired this year. So you throw out the decision you made a year or 2 ago on Richardson. You don't see the experiment through because he was an experiment, just to keep your leash a little bit longer, knowing that you're going to get veteran help. And at the very least, Daniel Jones is going to make you more competitive. That might not be the case. I mean, it might be the case that they started him just because they saw he looked pretty good and understood the offense, coupled with the fact that Richardson has just done everything wrong. I think generally if you're on a short leash, you want the veteran playing.
Yep.
But in this scenario, the ceiling has been shown to be low. Like Denver, he had some moments, but that didn't end well. Pittsburgh, he had some moments, but the production at the end of the game, you'd look up at the scoreboard and be like, we're not scoring.
True.
And he does not look good.
More moon balls. Just got to let him throw more moon balls to Malik Neighbors, right?
The offensive line was putrid in week 1. Andrew Thomas could could be back, could not be back, but he wasn't doing anything differently as the game went on. He just kept turtling. He didn't get it out quicker. He didn't.
He will turtle.
He was turtling, and so I don't. You also have to make the right decision for the young quarterback when you make that move. The Giants have a Week 14 bye this year.
Yeah.
It's particularly late.
Hey, Russ, I'm tired of seeing this. I'm sorry, but
Let's predict the Jackson dart.
the stretching out to the end zone, bro. You get the ball knocked out too much. You got to stop doing that. You gotta get the yards you can.
Do you hear that, Russ?
And stop doing that. Because I love you, but
He loves you.
You gotta take care of the football.
Okay, Dallas.
I have a prediction for. Oh, go ahead.
I think that. All right, hold your prediction. Hold your prediction. Golly,
Sunday, December 14th. It's after the bye week.
boy, that's a
Perfect.
long way, dude.
What game is that?
It's your home Washington, home
I
Minnesota,
think Detroit.
at Vegas, home Dallas.
No, you don't want to start them on the road.
It's 4 games in the season. See what you have. 4 full games.
I think
that's-
Detroit.
That's when you're playing dart?
Yeah.
That seems like the
Oh.
right spot.
Whoa. You
'Cause-
guys are stretching it.
Well,
Do you guys
because
know
the
about
other
New York
the other ones.
media? Like, are they going to win all the games in between then?
No, they're going to lose them.
And you think that's how long it'll take for? So
Well, look,
that means Jameis is going to get in before
I
him.
think you need to protect the asset.
So Jameis will play before.
What about the Chargers game? You know what?
What?
Chargers game seems dope, and then like New Orleans.
His
is
first
the
game's
soft
at home.
landing.
New Orleans is a soft second week. Then you get Philly,
Then but
whose
then it gets
defense
tough.
is not
Philly,
what it
Broncos,
was. But
Philly.
then you get Broncos and you get Philly again. Philly sandwich.
Yeah.
That's it. You're waiting till after
The Philly sandwich.
Eagles knuckle sandwich is what I would call it.
So that's why I like Detroit, because it's right after Green Bay, and then you get the bye. Like if you need to get to the edge of the pool because you can't swim, the bye's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I think you're right, Nolan. Like back half of that Philly sandwich, or if you're really pressed, I mean, fuck, start them against the defending AFC champions. You're going to be at home. That defense doesn't scare me right now.
But
Although Spags is like,
brother man,
he's going to have him in checkmate.
you also have to
2 moves on the board.
wait until the offensive line can protect the quarterback.
That's for sure. Which
Yeah.
we're just talking about in a vacuum. Say the offensive line comes back and can protect him. This is a stab is a shot in the dark.
Quickly, you at the beginning of this breakdown, you said it might be a little open doorway for the Giants. I just want to shut that. In this game, I just want to shut it real fast. Dak Prescott is 13-2 straight up and 10-5 against the spread versus the Giants. He started his career 0-2 straight up. Those games are against Eli Manning, and then has won 13 consecutive starts against him.
It's not good. We're talking about this game a long time.
Nothing about the game so far.
No, yeah. Okay. So the other two is San Francisco, New Orleans, which is just getting to be a shit show in San Francisco, which is one of the reasons that I faded San Francisco to start the season. Brock Purdy's hurt. Not that you would know that Brock Purdy was going to get hurt, but Kittle's got a hamstring. He's missing some time. The receiver room's all fucked up. They went out and they picked up Kendrick Bourne, signed him to a 1-year deal for $5 million. Jawan Jennings left with an injury last week. And Trent didn't play his best game. So, a lot of the carbon dating on these guys is coming back
Nice.
old. And, it's a game I expect them to win, even with Mac Jones quarterbacking on the road. I watched New Orleans last week. That's all I can say. I watched the all 22 of the New Orleans Saints Cardinals game, and that's all I can say. No, honestly, Demario Davis will still come downhill and hit a motherfucker. He's still hitting people in purgatory there.
Somebody should go get him.
Man,
Somebody should go get him.
rescue him. Cam Jordan had 2 sacks. Cam Jordan, one of them was on a protection issue for the Cardinals, and the other, he just beat the freaking the Jonah Williams over there. Jonah Williams is a struggle bus over there for the Cardinals on the right side.
They got that 6'5" athletic DN, right?
Which one?
He hawked a running back down.
Who you talking about? Which
for the
team?
Saints.
For the Saints? Granderson?
Granderson.
Man, that was a great effort play. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I thought I wouldn't be able to talk about that play with anybody. I have it in my notes.
You know what's funny about it?
Toss play out of I formation.
And I always think this is funny and to each his own. But like there was a video about it, and it was kind of like hyping that play up in him, and they were like, yeah. He got up to like 22 miles, or he can run up to like 22 miles per hour, and he's a 6'5" guy. He's about 2 whatever, and he's in the comments, and he's like, I can actually get like 24 miles per hour.
That's pretty good. 24 is pretty fast if that's what he said. I don't think so.
It's
I don't think he's
super
running
fast.
24 miles an hour.
No, in that play or whatever, I think maybe it was clocked at 22.
Really?
Like for him to catch up the way he did.
That's a freak show deal, man. Great effort, too.
But for him to be like, no, like I'm faster than that.
24 miles an hour is about the top speed of a smart car. So he's about the size of a smart car.
Yeah.
But he's running as fast as a smart car.
He is. And probably
He's a smart car.
better pass rusher than a smart car.
Yeah, probably.
Although, honestly,
Well,
the bull rush on a fucking Mini Cooper, something would be. You
vehicular.
got leverage and,
You guys will notice that Chase Young kept it in the garage last week.
Yeah.
Gear up for the back half of
your
his.
man.
Yeah.
2025
Yeah.
NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
Very well could be.
Campaign.
Could set,
Sacks come in bunches.
could set the sack mark
They come in bunches.
this year.
Yeah.
They come
Yep.
in bunches.
Yep.
It's only the first week.
That's right.
Carolina, Arizona. Okay. And this is where
Points.
I want to say this, and I teased it earlier in the show. I thought watching Bryce Young, on Monday, as a game I hadn't seen as much of. We were just kind of reacting off of what happened and seeing bits and pieces of it, and because we can't watch every game by Monday morning. I went back, fine-tooth comb. Bryce didn't play that bad. The pick was terrible. Never saw the safety. Jacksonville heated him up. Jacksonville also got a lot of pressure on him. And there were balls that he threw like to Renfro, for instance. And Renfro couldn't come down with him. They zeroed him up at one point, and Renfro on kind of a wheel or something like that. Tremendous touch on the ball. There were so many situations where Renfro drops it. There were so many situations where I just thought, man, if he had better receivers, the day would have looked a lot different. And that was my big takeaway at quarterback for the Panthers, man. Like, it's not an all-star offense. Aquanu's out. They were kind of bad up front. Run game didn't get going. Nyman was awful. We talk about the replacement for Aquanu. The receivers let him down. He hung in there against the blitz. Xavier Legette wasted 2 dots on the sideline. 2 absolute dots. Like, Legette's got to get going. It's one thing to start slow out of the gate, but when you make mistakes like not getting your feet down or you don't show great effort blocking and Mark Schlereth rips into you during the broadcast, then there's nowhere to hide. He's got to get going. The heave on 4th and 5, if you watch that game, he put it on McMillan down at the goal line, and McMillan tried to one-hand it. That's going to be a hell of a competitive play, and it'd be a great catch if he catches it. But, all the ball placement was really good. The second pick he threw, Dowdle just dropped the check down. It just went right through his hands. So I thought Jacksonville was a good test for him right off the bat because they both had really good edge rushers, or they had good edge rushers. They were pretty multiple in their fronts. And he stood in there. I don't know when help is coming for him, but I hope he's still standing when it does because I think he's going to be fine.
Well, shoot, the help left. Adam Thielen. I think that was one of the worst.
That was
not one of
deal.
the worst things, but a tough thing for him to lose right before the season.
That's why you need XL to come on, man. Yeah. And McMillan, he's a rookie, but he's got to come on. And I felt for him watching because that's a game that not everybody's focused more on Jacksonville. And you come away from that game and you're like, oh, Jacksonville's going to be good again. And then you watch the game and you're like, Jacksonville might be good, but Carolina's not a good football team right now. And it might be early in the year and everything, but Bryce, some people said, hey, Bryce struggles week 1. I went back and looked at it and I was like, saw a lot of guys around him struggling. I saw him standing in there and putting the ball on target for the most part. So you got to go back and watch that game if you thought he struggled. But I think this is going to be a big test for them because the Cardinals defense is going to be quiet as kept, one of the best, most fun groups to watch. Mac Wilson is a good player at linebacker. I just want to say that. I don't go up and down the group here, but they obviously have Baron Browning. Josh Sweat's there. It's good to see Josh out there. They've got a rookie rusher, a Birch, who they got in the 3rd round, working in.
Birch.
He'll need some time. Like, interior guys are fine, but, like, the real strength of this defense is the secondary. The secondary is pretty fucking good. Obviously, they've always had a really good safety group, but even the 3rd safety, Taylor Demerson, he'll come down and hit people, man. Will Johnson looks sticky, man, quick out of his break. Johnson was real competitive at the pylon on an opportunity in man coverage, and then came off his flat duty to absolutely tattoo the fucking running back at one point. Like,
decleated him.
And then the other corner is Melton, who's not a rookie but young guy. When Gannon got there, he did not have the corners to play his defense. I think now what you're seeing is like, hey, their defense is going to be better this year. They're going to be fun. You need somebody as the rusher to separate, and I mean separate from the rest of the group. But otherwise, like, pretty good group. And I didn't even mention Darius Robinson. That's his name. Yeah, from Mizzou, buddy of mine from the Sac Summit. So they got some toolsy guys up front. They just haven't like kind of fully realized who they are as rushers. But they're going to get some opportunities this week.
Yeah, Chris, to me, like, looking at that group, the thing that jumped off the tape was the size of the front too. Like, obviously a lot of love for the secondary, but like you said, it's Sweat, Robinson, Calais, long body types in the D line.
Didn't even mention
Dalvin
Campbell.
Tomlinson's like, he's like 340 pounds. Dalvin Tomlinson,
Collier.
Birch 280, Zaven Collins 270.
Collins goes 270.
It's 270, yeah.
He's such a tweener, but he's 270.
Yeah, it's great, like how well he moves at that size.
Yeah.
I think you saw it. I think New Orleans just kind of tried to run the ball around them. So I'm hoping this group continues to play well because then we get to nickname it. And I'm workshopping a couple.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll track it through September.
Well, the secondary for them makes it a really tough ask for these guys to go to the desert and beat them because they just don't have as much outside, and these corners can play, man. And the safeties can play. We didn't even mention Budda Baker. I know Budda Baker.
Yeah.
And Calais Campbell, he's still doing it. He's still in there in a 4-eye, just like throwing guys inside and backdooring stuff. And like, he's just one of the most unorthodox players in the history of D-line play, and he makes it look easy. And he's been making it look easy for 20 years. I mean, I'm sitting a hole in this chair. I've been here for fucking 7 years, and we're the same draft class. He's still playing. Guy's unbelievable. So, Cardinals, man, don't sleep on that defense. The one thing I want to say about the offense is they got some fun play designs, man. When you get down in the red zone, they kind of had like an RPO to the flat with McBride in the flat. And, the run action on that thing is Connor, normal handoff setup, but then he kind of bends back and catches a shovel pass. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like they had some really cool concepts, and it's a well-called game, man. I think Kyler's a mixed bag. I think that's the biggest question mark about this team, honestly, is the quarterback. As solid as he's been at times, and solid's the wrong word, like as
volatile,
up and down. Like the lows are low, the highs are high. Sometimes I don't think he sees the field in zone, and that's not a height joke. There was a play backed up on the goal line where if he'd hit Marvin Harrison Jr., it would have been 99 yards for a touchdown.
I know that's not a height joke, but do you think?
I think it matters.
You think it's because like he's missing some of those plays because of his height?
I think sort of, but
because I feel that way about Russell, like Wilson, like some of the way he scrambles and get out of stuff. It just seems like you can't really see and get to your spots for some of the
that's
smaller.
For him. He always had a deeper drop target.
Mm-hmm.
So the way you see that manifest is he's 9 yards deep.
Yeah.
And Kyler, there is no pocket. Like Kyler's like a water bug, dude. He really is. But when it comes time to, to make that throw, like, can he be consistent with the ball placement? I thought he had a really good sequence before the half. The right side of their line is a problem. And I'm giving more to Cardinals fans to close the show because we skipped over that game in the flyovers. We flew over the flyover. Like, we were like, nothing to see here. Personnel-wise, I think Wilson blocks his ass off. He's an all-around really good player. McBride's involved in the screen game. He's a big weapon for them out in the field, too. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. caught a touchdown on mesh in low red. I think he's going to have a big year. And people will be like, oh, he's arrived. He had like almost 1,000 yards last year. He's a fucking rookie. Give him some time. So yeah, I like what I saw from the Cardinals. If the quarterback play is like an 8 out of 10 in Arizona, they're very good. They're very good.
We also had what I think was the quote of the week from this game. Greg Dortch, receiver for the Cardinals, was talking about Trey McBride.
Yeah.
He said, when we touch the grass, he goes from Trey to Traquan.
I love that, dude.
I love that too.
I love that, dude. I think I know what he means.
This is funny, but I was just like, I wonder who's going to be the first white guy to be like, hey, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What's wrong with just being regular Trey?
I'm offended. Being offended is the
It's
currency.
the new thing. Yeah,
It's the currency.
for sure. No, yeah.
All right. Well, hope it didn't offend you with the length of this podcast. I know I feel offended. But we got too many games, and this is our first flight of the year, so we'll be better in week 2. Everybody, check us out Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern, live show, same place. And we'll be sprinkling some content in there.
All shows presented by BetMGM.
That's really good, Macon.
Thanks.